we rejoin our heroes. It's been 30 minutes. 30 minutes unassailed, no less. You've perhaps finally given Storm Company the slip. You don't have your analytic disc with you. They can't observe your actions.
How long's it been?
They haven't heard you planning. It's been about 30 minutes, right? Because Willard did his T thing to cut your recovery time in half.
Instead of a full hour, it's a half hour, yeah.
Have we tried to lift up that blast door to check on?
No, because you've had to rest for 30 minutes, so that's what's happening.
It would take a minute.
But it would interrupt the rest.
Yeah, Armis has been pretty well recovered, so he's just very sad by the blast doors.
Great. Is there anything else that's happening in this kind of campfire moment? Any conversation we want to zoom in on with the group before we re-enter kind of the chaos of this this circumstance? Okay.
Davroid wants to inform everyone of what he saw.
Okay. Do so.
Yeah. So when I used my mind attack on Coldfoot, I got a peek into the things that have happened and transpired over the course of our journey together. And it appears that the Queen had a similar deal with Storm Company with us, but they went rogue. And then, so it appears to me that we were, like, our group was set up in order to correct the error of the other group that chose not to continue doing their task. And so Coldfoot was bought out by them, and Napwort was bought out by them to cover everything up. And it's just a huge chain of collusion and corruption.
So we were like the cleanup crew. They were like the cleanup crew, but then they were like, well, no, we don't want to clean up anymore. We want to make a mess with storms. I'm going to name myself Storm. And okay.
And then Sarah was given a large sack of money, essentially.
Wow, she got bought out?
Yes, and there are 3 vaults here, all with insane amounts of cash.
And why do I care?
I'm just giving you guys the info. Everything that I saw. I'm just recounting what I saw. And then there's a room here that, along with being able to hear our thoughts, they could also see through the analytic disc.
Well, they can't do that anymore, though. Right?
No.
Yeah.
Josh, the like potion that we drank, did that seem like a one-time use? Could I make an intellect roll to discern?
You can make a roll. It'll be a pretty hard one.
Yeah.
Also, everybody take 4 XP for completing the party arc Uncover a Conspiracy.
Ah.
I mean, it's short of the 16 I asked for, Dan.
I only need 10 more. Okay. I'll make the roll. I have a free level for intellect, but I'm not going to spend any more.
So you'll just add 3 for that free level.
I got a 6, so I probably don't.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's...
And then Willard?
I'm sorry, Frode. When you brought up your concerns with some of this, the potion and the analytic disc, I downplayed the things that you were saying, and you were right.
We all did.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I mean, I know you can be wrong, and I can be right most of the time. It's all right.
You truly are the brains of the group, Frode.
I mean, to be fair, we all had to know subconsciously, at least. I mean, it was a trade deal. We negotiated. We gained the power of telecommunication for a cost we didn't know.
But it appears the only one who wasn't in on it was Jasper, and Jasper was just also deceived, like us.
Well, isn't he a good bean?
And I mean, he's here to help us.
Is that what I overheard there? Jasper busted in and being like, what happened to my crew?
Yes.
Shale, you hearing this? Shale hasn't, I'm sure, responded this
It's a blast door, yeah.
Armis is deadpan crying a little bit.
It's okay, Armis.
He's the best of us.
We had to, recover a little bit, but I'm opening that door first thing.
I hope. If I see a puddle of blood over there, I'm gonna...
I mean, that's a good thing, because he was serving. He was serving me axes.
I was out for a long time. I didn't see him in his peak.
Oh, you missed it. He was doing so good at his peak.
He held his own. I knew he had it in him.
But he's got so much to grow. He's the best of us.
Josh, did Coldfoot have anything on him?
I don't know. Nobody's looked.
I'm gonna investigate his body.
Okay. You find 2 level 3 grenades. You find the sending stone that he's been using to talk to Savage and Sarah, and probably there are some others on that network. You don't really know who else has one, but basically they're like radio.
Okay.
You're now like you have a way to listen in.
Yeah.
How the turntables. You find it's not a key as big as Frode's key, but he also has a key. You're not sure what it goes to, but he has one. You find a small pouch of money. You find a little wooden box that says property of the Kingdom of Udril on it with the royal crest of Udril. And you find he's wearing a pretty nice set of armor. Okay. So like that would be armor of 3 if you were going to put on his plate armor. It's like Ruby Guardian armor.
I'm not going to put on his armor, but I will announce Coldfoot has these personal effects on him. He has 2 grenades.
He had a great axe.
And a great axe. If anyone wants his armor, you can put that on. Here's a smaller key than what Frode has.
Yeah, mine's bigger, I know.
Yeah. And then there's this box from Udril.
Guys always just compare keys.
Can I open the box that says property of Udril?
Absolutely.
And see what's inside?
You kind of crack it open, and you find an enchanted ring inside of it. It would take some study to attune, but you're pretty sure looking at it that this ring is one of the kind of more historical jewels of the monarchy of Udril, and it's kind of like carved in the shape of a wolf's head that's like snapping over a gem, and you're pretty sure that it will summon dire wolves.
I gotta make sure the message is clear real quick. Frode just takes out a piece of his charcoal and scratches onto his armor, traitor to the crown, and just draws a little traitor on his forehead.
The separated head. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to make sure it's on both,
In case
That's how you keep a set together, is you make sure it's all labeled.
I'm assuming there's like a giant ruby or something embedded in the armor?
His crest, so the gemstone guardians, the leaders, these 12 leaders, they have the same crest, but there's a different precious metal set into the like center of the crest. So his has a big ruby set into it.
I would like to pry that out.
Okay.
And crush it beneath my feet.
Okay. You pry it out and you crush it beneath your feet.
All right, that'll send a message.
To who?
Well, to anyone who finds him that he was a disgrace. He signed and negotiated to work for the crown, and he got bought out from what you said and sold us out. Yeah, he deserves his death.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to make sure that people in the afterlife know.
Oh, okay.
Those grenades that you mentioned, those, you throw those, right?
Yeah, do you want them?
Yeah, I'll take those.
I'll give them both to Willard.
Willard will clip him to his belt.
I was going to say, Willard's like, I've got a couple of openings here as he looks at his like armory of knives all
I've
over.
expended 9 of my 20 knives.
There you
okay?
go. Yeah, so they'll fit in one. They're like crammed awkwardly into knife-shaped sheaths, but they're like now they kind of bulge weirdly with the grenade and then the little pin sticking out the top.
And then I'm gonna keep the sending stone and just monitor it. Like I don't want to speak into it or anything though.
Do you want me to hold on to the key, keep them in the same place, or do you want to dispersify?
You can take the key.
All right, I'll take it. I got 2 keys now.
Cool.
You got no keys.
Before we open this door and face our fate, I know we're not where we thought we would be right now, and we don't have the same people on our side that we thought we would have right now. But I just wanted to say, in case it's my last chance to say it, that what's made this team special is us, not Sarah, not Goldfoot, not any of the people that have turned against us. They were just there. Our heart and and I can't really believe that I'm saying this from 3 months ago, but our friendship is what has made this team what it is.
I can't say I was ever really betrayed because the people I trusted the most are right here in front of me, and the ones I didn't, well, see how that turned out for them. He makes a pointed look at the beheaded man on the ground. So, yeah, you're right, Willard. If I ever die, maybe I'll go find my wife and child and tell them I did it. Tell them I couldn't make it back, but that I finally broke that curse.
Tell them yourself.
Yeah, fair enough.
As your conversation comes to an end here, I'm going to throw the map back on screen for chat's benefit. You are in the crypts, which is essentially like basement 1. So there are 2, or actually 3 levels of basement, like going down vertically. So you're in basement 1, and open to you is the kind of large winding staircase that leads up to the bell tower or back to the first floor. Alternatively, through some blast doors, is the wide, like marble, almost temple-looking staircase that leads down to whatever is on basement level 2. So those are kind of the 2 directions you can go. We now also know that there are 2 of the coffins that lead into the foxhole tunnels. That the ones that the Guardians came in through. So that would be a way out of the keep, but it would not help you get to the lower levels or anything like that. So that's what we're dealing with here. Which direction would you like to go, and what is your next objective? What we kind of know is that Savage, priority 1 of your mission, is up. He's higher in the vertical levels from you. We can kind of assume that the mana vault, being something they would want to protect, is going to be lower than you, maybe down in the action, like they have vaults, like safe rooms where all the money goes and stuff. Or you've got your kind of side quest of like, we also want to save our buddy Shale, and he's on the other side of the blast doors. So those are kind of the factors to consider here.
Well, which way we go? I mean, I think me and Armis are united.
I mean, you guys go for it.
Are you trying to spend an XP right now, Tyler?
I was waiting for him to finish, yeah. So my XP is going to be that the blast doors will slowly unlatch and start opening.
Okay.
But there is no longer a Shale nor the Ruby Guardian standing there, just emptiness.
Great. So like we just don't know where they went?
No. Yep.
Cool. And you're leaving it to me to figure out where they went? Great. That will be 1 XP.
I know where.
So-
well, I can play with one of them, but the Ruby Guardians, you can choose what they.
Okay, so
I'm
if
taking
you're
the-
going to take Shale, that's going to be for that's a 3 XP because that's a long-term thing.
That's it. Yep.
So, okay, Shale is missing. There's kind of a loud clunking noise as the latch, that's the wrong clunk. There's a loud clunking noise as the door kind of unlatches and just slowly stone grinding on stone
Well, that saves us some
as it
effort.
raises up. Here's the one I meant. There, that's the sound of the latch. And the door kind of opens, and now you're open on both sides of the crypts. Still, nobody has come in to attack you, despite, like, you know that they know you're somewhere on this floor.
They know that we know that they
Exactly,
know.
yeah.
Well, there's a good chance the mana vault would be below us, but Savage is priority 1.
Well, hear me out. We go down. Mana Vault's probably got all those little pill doodads they were talking about in the brief, and we could probably use that to help us go get Savage. I don't know about you, but even with this rest, I'm struggling just a little bit, so
We could try.
I think having a little bit of help.
Popping some magical predictions would help us
Okay,
for our number 1 priority.
we're heading down, Josh.
Okay, on behalf of chat who have been wanting to cast wild magic this whole time, but the reward isn't set up on Twitch, and I keep forgetting to do it during our intermissions, I'm going to set a timer for 17 minutes, and every time it goes off, I'm going to hit you with a wild magic incident
Okay.
for the remainder of the adventure. So, chat, hopefully that will be acceptable to you as
Hopefully that will
penance.
appease you.
Yeah, hopefully that will appease you.
Appease the chat gods.
The chat lords.
Monsters.
Great. So, you monsters. So that will begin now. That timer is going. You've decided to go down the stairs.
Yes.
And so you walk back out and re-enter the kind of the flow of the adventure here. You step out onto the wide marble staircase, and as you go down, it gets less and less practical and more like ornate and almost religious in nature. There are carvings in the walls of some kind of massive fish and great big like depictions of different things. None of it makes any sense, but you just see these weird kind of carvings. There's these big depictions of like the different planes and all kinds of weirdness kind of carved into the walls. As you get to the bottom of this staircase, I'll throw the map back up here for chat. The next thing that you see is actually kind of a tool shed. It looks like it was once like a kind of a religious room. There's a thing that looks like maybe underneath all and junk that's sitting on it might have been an altar once, but now it's just like, oh, this is a convenient workbench. It's got like a saw on it, you know, and there's like stuff kind of tossed around to the side. And beyond that, there is a thick curtain hiding whatever is beyond you, but you can hear the sounds of activity. In fact, let's get some activity. You hear the sounds of activity on the other side. It seems unbothered by whatever commotion you have caused on the other side of these thick curtains.
I can just take a quick poke around. Maybe we might find something useful here before we move on. Because, I mean, it sounds like they're unbothered, so let's not spoil the surprise until we're ready. Right.
Okay.
Right. All right.
Take a peek.
I'm sure everyone else will. I'll take a look around the room.
So you're going to head into the room?
No. The little tool shed.
Oh, okay, great. You look around the little tool shed. You see essentially like a fairly well-stocked artificer's tool shed. There are shelves of different tools, alchemy, vials, and things, like, you know, kind of a mixture of things. Nothing here is like inherently a magic item. These are the tools that would be used to create magic items or experiment on them or measure them or, you know, whatever. That's kind of what's in the room here. Even the saw that's on the altar doesn't look like it lives there. It looks like someone quick needed to make a cut, and they just threw the tool on here because it was another available thing. The room is covered in dust. Not much of it is wood dust. You're not sure what the dust is. It's like weird materials that they've been messing with or cutting up or building into things. But just, you know, that's kind of the room that you found here.
Is there any spare lab coats?
No lab coats. This is strictly like tools.
Well, I'm not really seeing anything useful here. You just...
I'm going to threaten a GM intrusion against Armis, that as Armis is going about his process of looking at the different tools, one of the artificers pulls back the curtain and like walks in to grab a tool, and you're like face to face with each other.
You do have XP.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, leave me alone.
You're going to refuse
Go
it?
away, you bad
That
man.
does not happen.
All right,
Isn't that great that didn't happen to you?
Willard,
Yes?
you're good at the whole poking and sneaking.
Oh, yes.
You want to take a look?
Yeah, I'll see what's out there.
And Willard will, I believe what he'll do is, he'll poke out and he'll use stealth first. He'll just see if he can sneak out there, just get a little peek and not be seen.
Okay.
Poke out of the curtain.
Go ahead and roll a speed task. The better you roll, the harder you are to spot.
All right, and I've got a specialty, so that's a +6.
Yes.
That is a 14 + 6 is a dirty 20.
Nice.
Dirty 20. You are Stealth Mole. Describe how you're stealthily poking around. I'll tell you what the room looks like, and then you'll describe the scene of like how you kind of investigate it and move around. Sound good?
The first move, can we say that this curtain is black?
Yeah.
So the first move he does is he doesn't stick his little albino mole face out. He sticks his hat out, which is black.
Okay.
It kind of like
So like
pokes out
be
of the
part of it,
curtain.
yeah.
Yep, and then kind of lifts his head up a little bit.
What you see
then-
is a massive laboratory. There are several different like work tables that are in here. This room is easily a long distance across. There are like lots of work tables with each one has kind of hanging from the ceiling above it like a bright overhead light that's casting light down on the table, and they have all kinds of different like implements. So some of them are magical weapons, kind of the things that you would expect a mercenary company to be working on. So there are like magical weapons. There's different like equipment pieces, like you see grapple hooks and stuff like that are being magically augmented.
He will actually take his hat off, so that the white, like the albino fur of his head is actually more prominent. And so he takes the hat off and he takes his coat off. So he still has like a black button down underneath the coat and black pants, but he's no longer like got the flowy black coat and then the black hat.
Okay.
So he uses that to stay low and kind of duck underneath tables and like stay under line of sight, but because he's short, if someone were to look down and not directly at him, like the white top of his head would hopefully blend in with the white floor, that sort of a thing. And so that's how he kind of dashes low and gets the lay of the land.
As he's rolling around, because he's closer to the ground, when you skitter past the sort of triple thick quartzite or glass walls of the blasting chamber, you see that the explosives that are being tested are small white tablets being tossed onto the ground, where they split and kind of explode. And every now and then the artificer who's in there will try something different. Like they'll eat one of the tablets and then you'll see the energy arc along their forearm where it shoots out into the ground and explodes. Sometimes they'll break it and then throw it, but they're like testing. It's almost like limit testing of the things that are in front of them.
If he still had the telepathic link, he would have said,
Oh, predictions.
he'll come back to the curtain and report back.
Okay. Willard reemerges from the curtain, and you again find yourself, the distant noise of the crowd kind of muffled by the curtain. Willard is standing there with you all. He gives his report on what's happening.
There's about a little less than a dozen men in there. They're scientists, but they are armed. They're testing those predictions that you were talking about, and I think building devices to work with them too. At least that's what it seemed like to me. But if we're to fight, it'll be a big fight.
Also take a
That's
narrative
all I'm
XP
saying.
for using your albino fur to like tie into
Thank
the
you.
scene. That's cool.
Well, do you think go back in there and grab us a few predictions?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I should have just done that.
Okay. Well, if we can use XP like
oceans?
like oceans, can I just use a couple XP and say that I did?
You can burn. This would be a short-term benefit because you can use it once, but you're not using it immediately. So 2 XP per prediction.
Per prediction. Okay, well, he's going to get 2 predictions then.
Great. 4 XP gets you 2 predictions.
So as he was scurrying about and after he saw through the glass that's what they were doing, he starts heading back towards the curtain, but on his final stretch by one of the tables, he, instead of staying super low, he like kind of gets up on his tippy claws and like peeks up on the and just sees if he can spot any of these little pills on the counter, and if he spots 2 of them, he's just gonna immediately just like swipe them off the top and come over and bring it. And when Frode says that, he'll just be like,
That's what I did.
Perfect. I'm going to threaten you with a GM intrusion. That you actually get 4 predictions.
oh,
However, the artificer turns to the table and they're like, "Where? I thought I had more." And they catch your little tail as you duck back through the curtain. Catch sight of you.
You know what? Sure, that's fine. I get the 4 predictions.
Great. You get the 4 predictions.
I'll give another XP to Armis.
Okay. Armis gets another XP, and you hear a commotion on the other side of the curtain. Hey, I think some creature's in here. Some little thing is in here. I think they grabbed. Somebody check
There's a
on
lot
that.
of guys out there, but here's some permissions.
You hear on the other side of the curtain. You hear a couple of.
Get ready for a fight.
Wait, all right. Do we want to just throw the 2 grenades and then we just bum rush them? Classic cleanup crew shenanigans, right?
Willard just kind of like looks down
10.
at his belt, just like, oh yeah, and then he just pulls
5.
a pin and does a roll. He doesn't even throw. He does like a hard roll underneath the curtain with the grenade.
With it in his hand.
No. He
I
rolls
see.
the grenade.
Yeah.
It's like he's like bowling. Exactly what Cleo said. Where it's not like a little soft little roll. He just is like, all right, fastball.
You
and
roll
just-
it through to the other side, and this time this is the sound I wanted. As the grenade goes off on the other side of the curtain, you hear a lot of like whoa, kind of noises, and then there's immediately going to be 2 blindly fired shots back through the curtains here. They're swarms, so they would have however much damage, but we're going to ease it by 3 steps because the curtain is in the way. So like they have no idea what they're attacking. They just saw the grenades and kind of fired blindly back. So that is difficulty 3, speed or strength defense rolls from everybody. Target roll of 9.
I'm just rolling.
Okay.
We take those.
we take those. Yep.
Everybody takes those.
I got a 9 exactly.
Okay.
16.
10.
Willard
All
got
of
a
you
2.
succeed. Oh, except Willard. Willard, you're still like, maybe they saw your claw underneath, and so one of them knew
Yeah.
to aim low, and they take a shot. Willard, you take 4 points of damage to your might pool as
right.
the gun goes off. You feel cold kind of seeping into your body as whatever the magical effects of this artificer's weapon are kind of take hold. The next time you make a speed action, it's hindered by 1 as you
Dang.
get this kind of ice that freezes your veins. It's only a one-time thing. It's not like a poison.
Okay.
On the other side of the curtain, as they kind of shred the curtain with the shotgun or whatever, looking through, you see 4 dead bodies on the ground from your grenade on the other side. So that does leave you with 6 creatures who I'm going to merge into 1 swarm.
Okay.
And that will bring us to the group's turn. Willard has rolled his grenades, but everybody else has an action to take.
Well, as I said, you roll the grenade, I go charging in. Frode just runs through the curtain,
Okay.
doesn't brush it aside, kind of lets it drape over him, perhaps
Okay.
tugging it off.
Sure. Frode rushes into the room, and then are you just letting it like cover your eyes, or are you going to kind of throw it to the side?
I figured it was shredded, so my head would just find a hole naturally.
Okay.
and
Just
rip it
Turns into a
bigger.
poncho.
Sure. Yeah, you turn it into a poncho. You wear the curtain.
And,
Be the curtain.
I just find, like, if there's more than 2 people clumped up in a single, like, behind cover, I'm running up, and I'm gonna jump and turn my body sideways and just try to jump tackle them.
Okay. You do that. Go ahead and roll a attack, might or speed. You can choose. I think it could be either. You're attacking 2 creatures, so that's going to be a level 5 swarm for the 2 creatures that you're attacking.
Yeah.
Frode is being the bull and the matador at the same time.
Let's go.
I'm gonna use 2 levels of effort,
All right.
and that'll be it.
Okay. Difficulty 3, target 9. We take those.
We were gonna.
We spend XP to take those a second time.
They would take. Yeah, exactly. We roll that, and we got a 9.
Let's go.
Nice.
As you just tackle these 2 people and knock them to the ground in a shower of stone. The other 4 creatures in the room, obviously have seen you. Davroid has an action as well, and Armis has an action.
So the Davroid,
There's now no curtain.
takes his hat, looks down at it, and he's going to use a new ability
Okay.
called Foul Aura. Your words,
Oh.
gestures, and touch invest an object no larger than yourself with an aura of doom, fear, and doubt for 1 day. Creatures that can hear and understand you feel an urge to move at least a short distance away from the object. If a creature does not move away, all tasks, attacks, and defenses it attempts while within the aura are hindered. The duration of the aura is extended by 1 day per level of effort applied. The aura is temporarily blocked while the object is covered or contained.
Okay. And then are you just tossing the hat in the room, basically, or are you going to keep it on?
He's going to keep it on and just, like, stroll in.
Great. So you just stroll in. Frode's laying on the ground. You just kind of saunter in behind him.
Is there anyone in range that I could hit with? Or no, that was my action. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you saunter into the room, just an immediate distance move while you've got the hat on. And then that brings us to Armis Thrupp has a move that we've not seen yet.
He wants to go and run in and try and see if he can spot a permission.
Okay. A prediction?
A prediction, whatever it's called. Prediction.
Permission to do magic.
Permission. Prediction. And if he can find one, he would like to try and use his spurt out gunk to make a string, grab it, and use it and like whip it and hit someone with it.
Sure.
To be clear, Armis has one because Willard handed him one
Willard
already.
did hand you one.
Oh shoot! Well then,
He handed everyone one.
I want to just attach it to some gunk in my hand, turn it into a whip, and slap someone in the head.
Okay. You turn it into a whip and you slap someone upside the head with it. Roll a d6 to see what power level you get out of this prediction.
5.
5. You toss it into the room, and with a loud cracking, kind of thunderous noise, a huge tidal wave of water just bursts out of it, 360 degrees, and desks knocked over, tools sent flying, lights knocked off the ceiling, people kind of fighting to keep their balance. It knocks 3 of the artificers back, and they kind of slide away down the room a little bit further from you. One of them manages to grab hold of something and keep himself upright, so he's going to still be a short distance away, which will put him in Davroid's range next round. But that's what that one does. At the same time as you do that, something about the attack you do combines with the magic in the room to cause our first chat wild magic incident here. Tyler, roll a d6. Let's see how dangerous this wild magic incident is.
0.
1.
1. A 1. All right. A level 1 wild magic incident. As this water, erupts and things get knocked off of tables and stuff like that, one of them is an electrified blade. And as it gets knocked off of the table, it falls towards Frode. And Frode, you're going to take some speed damage. 3 points of speed damage. But it only lasts 1 round.
Is that physical?
No, it's to your muscles, not might damage. Speed damage.
No, I know, but is it a physical damage of some sort?
It's not affected by armor.
It is by my one ability. I took an ability because I realized the weakness of my flesh. And I took, resilience. 1 armor enabler works even against things that are, as long as it's physical, against things that ignore armor.
Okay, I'll give you that. So your armor will come off of whatever that was.
Yeah, I only get 1 armor.
Okay, so it just drops it down to 2 points of speed damage.
Yeah, that's fine.
2 points of speed damage as this thing kind of zaps you, and the timer is restarted, so more wild magic to come. So that happens, and then that brings us to the top of initiative, so to speak. So the artificers are going to get a chance to go. The 3 artificers that got swept back by the water as it trails away past their feet are going to flip 2 of the heavy work tables over as cover, and then on the other side of them, they're going to kind of like the Iron Man, kind of combine some different pieces of mechanics around them, and they're going to each take pretty heavy attacks against Frode, who's laying on the ground still. So they're going to take their attacks at Frode because he's the biggest and most obvious target. Frode, they're going to act as a swarm, so it's going to be 2 creatures attacking you at once. It is a single level 5 defense roll.
Okay.
And it will be hindered by 1 if you use speed, because you are affected by the lightning and everything that's going on. But I'm assuming you're going to use might.
Why would I ever use speed?
I'm not speed.
I think I used a muscles of iron when we first got in here. It's only been, by your record, 30 minutes for the rest, plus however long on top of that for all these rounds.
Sure.
So it's like tail end.
It's still within an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say it's wrapping up the hour.
We're wrapping up the hour. And I'll go ahead and use Muscles of Iron then. 1 easement, free effort, 2 easements.
Okay.
That's 3.
That brings it down to a level 3.
Yeah.
We all know we
take those.
And we also know we re-roll.
We re-roll those.
That was a nat 1 for those interested.
Oh my.
Is it another now one?
It's
No.
not nat 1, but we use another level. Alright, here we go. 14.
14. All right. You succeed on your defense roll. With might, you just tank the attacks. These 2 things are fired at you. One of them is a huge blast of fire, which kind of ricochets off of you into the water and evaporates into steam, flash boiling a bunch of the water off the ground. The other one is a sheer wave of sound, just like sonic impulse, which slides you across the floor a bit, along with the 2 artificers you're pinning, just slides the 3 of you back towards Davroid. So as he's kind of like sauntering into the room, you're like, kind of slide back, and he just kind of like slowly come to rest at his feet. Davroid, you look down, Frode's just there now.
Hey, how you doing?
The artificer who held his ground is affected by your aura. So this creature is going to slowly back up away from you, like kind of the fear or the unease, but it is going to take an attack this round.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hindered by 1 step. Siler
I
has
use
a
an
hand up.
XP for that attack.
Yes.
They're artificers. They're down there messing with stuff. So my thought is there has to be some sort of weapon that does some mind control, right?
Sure.
So
They're messing with all that kind of
the
stuff.
guy, let's just say the guy that Davroid is facing has the mind control weapon. and
Yo.
he's gonna
So it's an
attack back
intellect
with that.
attack. Okay. So Davroid, this guy who's going to attack you, he has a weapon in his hand that he's going to kind of fire at you. He feels the fear, and you see some kind of recognition in his eyes, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh shoot, this is the guy who deals with intellect stuff. He kind of gets it. And he's going to flip his weapon over, so it's like the handle of the gun is pointed out at you and the barrel is pointed up at the sky, and he's going to pull the barrel out of it so that the weapon is empty, and then he's going to level it again and fire, and something at the back of it kind of glows, and the energy siphons forwards through it, and you are hit with a nostalgic flashback to you if you do not succeed on the defense roll here, and that will essentially take you out of this time and place where you won't know where you are or
Yeah.
what's happening. Go ahead and roll a defense roll, a difficulty of 5.
Discerning Mind, I have +3 armor, and defense rolls I make against attacks that attempt to confuse, persuade, frighten, or otherwise influence me are eased from
Okay.
an enabler ability, Discerning Mind.
Great, so eased from a 5 to a 4.
Awesome. I am very experienced in intellect, being separate mind from body, so would that give me another easement?
No, I think you would need to. This is like a thing that's designed to work on minds.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's just because you know about this kind of effect doesn't necessarily mean that you're resilient anymore against it than that ability already
Okay.
says you are.
Okay. I get a free level of effort with
Okay.
having an edge of 3.
Difficulty 3, target 9.
And I will use 1 level of effort.
1 level of effort makes it difficulty 2, target 6.
But if we take 9s, we definitely take those.
Yeah.
it's just an upside down 9.
I'm gonna spend an XP. Another XP.
Tyler's like, yeah, baby, burn those resources. Let's go.
10.
10.
There it is.
10 is high enough to succeed. And so as this thing attacks you, you just kind of channel, internally, and you put your own mind against this attack, but it's stronger than you thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like whatever they're developing here is pretty powerful stuff. And it takes all of the power in your pocket protector to hold it back.
Yeah.
As you're kind of, resisting, and you even maybe see a couple little flashes of whatever memory it was going to transport you into before it drops and you're back in the room again. The artificer looking at you looks even more unnerved now that like you're still present and in the room with him. He's kind of taking steps back. And that brings us to you all, player folk.
Davroid is just gonna like smirk at him and give him that look, when someone is just coming at you.
He just crapped his pants, clearly. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And Davroid will charge him,
Okay.
run towards him, and attack with his axe.
Great. And he's hindered because he stayed a short distance away from you. So when you attack, this will be instead of a 5, it's a 4.
Okay. And he's using speed, so he will use 1 level of effort,
Okay.
and he's trained with axes.
Great.
That's down to a 2, I think.
Yeah.
We take
Target
those.
of 6.
We do definitely take those. 18.
Nice.
18.
All right.
You nail this guy with your axe, and he is sent spinning off, towards one. He kind of like ricochets off the blast walls. I'm gonna hit you with a GM intrusion that he falls through the blast walls and sets off whatever explosion was in there, killing him instantly, but subjecting you to damage from it because you're right next to him.
I will accept.
All right. As this explosion, just a huge jet of fire busts into the room and kind of erupts. It how fire in like CG in ways that it doesn't really do will like curl around corners and like swallow stuff up. It like swallows you up for a second, and when it emerges, like your beard is singed and whatever. And you take 4 points of might damage from the firestorm that kind of erupts out of this explosion. Inside, the artificer he's had hearing protection on, so he's had no idea that anything's going on out here, looks up, is like, oh, and he's going to enter the fight next round now that he's become aware of what's going on. Frode, Armis, and Willard, what are the 3 of you doing this round?
And I'm going to give an XP to Armis.
Okay.
Quick question. Did that flood, that tidal wave, that leave like how much water
A
on
lot
the
of it
ground?
got flash boiled away, so at this point it's kind of like when you spill something and then it's dried for a little while. So there's like the stain on the ground of where water was, but it's not really it's not significant.
Okay, I thought it was a lot more water.
It was at first, but it just kind of rushed away and dissipated. There's probably a drain on the floor too for that kind of mishap.
Fair. Willard is going to. He did his action from behind the curtain. He's still like back. Obviously, the curtain's gone now, but he is still back in that area.
Yeah.
And so he is going to run out. He's going to take his prediction and slide it across the floor, run at it, take out one of his knives, stab the knife into the prediction.
Okay.
And then throw the knife at one of the artificers that is behind, like kind of trying to take cover behind the table that's been shooting at Frode.
Okay, so and we're counting this as his 2 knife attacks that he gets, where one is at the prediction and one is at the artificer.
Well, he's stabbing a knife into the prediction and then throwing that knife.
Oh, like attaching it to the knife.
Yes,
I understand now. Okay.
The sliding it across the floor and stabbing into it was kind of for badass flavor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was.
But yeah.
Love
It
that
was.
flavor. You like roll a grenade and then you wait and then you slide a prediction across the ground. So you chase this small white little, ibuprofen looking thing.
Yeah.
You run across the floor towards it. You do exactly as you described. You stab into it. You come up and you make your attack roll. You are attacking the artificer behind the blast doors, right? Near Frode?
Yes.
Okay. That's a difficulty 4 attack roll because he's by himself.
Okay. And that is because of what happened to my speed damage or whatever, that effect that is made 1 step more difficult, but then 2 steps easier. So it's just 1 step easier. Difficulty 3.
Great. Difficulty 3, target roll 9. And as we all know,
We
take
that.
those.
I was about to say we all know.
As we all know, we all know.
Gonna reroll. Spend an XP.
When we
Got a
take
9.
those,
Got it exactly
Let's
a
go.
9 on the
Perfect.
second roll.
You throw it, it arcs through the air, impales into the artificer for whatever damage it normally deals, but then
4.
there is just an explosion that like from the rib cage out explodes this dude, and he is dead. And that leaves 2 artificers who are further away behind cover.
Armis, could you gunk these 2 up?
What's that?
Can you gunk them?
Can I gunk them? I'll just stay. I'll wrap up these 2 boys like a couple of hoagies.
Okay. You wrap those 2 up, and that's probably the 2 of you working together. We'll say you get them both restrained. So that brings us back to the top of initiative order, which means that we've got the far away artificers who are each going to, again, now that they see the whole group in the room, they're going to distribute their attacks. So one will attack Davroid, who seems to be the most successful against them. The other one's going to attack Willard, who's further away. So Davroid and Willard, these are level 4 defense tasks for both of you.
Okay. Gonna use a level of effort from speed.
Okay.
Try to help that.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
Oh! My D20 went on the ground.
Josh,
You pulled a Cleo.
Classic.
could
Roll
I
a 13.
spend an XP to use a reaction to
Yes.
move the shield in front of me?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So you move the shield in front. So are you not even trying to dodge? You're just going to let the shield soak up the attack?
Yeah. I'll try and dodge, but in
Okay.
case I fail.
Sure.
Because I'm gonna use a might defense,
Okay.
and I'm trained in might defense. I just don't have any edge, so I don't
Okay.
use it a lot.
Difficulty 3-9.
Yep. And we take those.
And we take.
We do.
We take oath.
I got an 8.
You got an 8. There is a loud kind of sonic and this, like, you can almost see the distortion in the air as the sound waves are compressed and blasted towards you. The shield in the way intercepts most of it. 1 point of might damage gets to you as the shield deactivates and kind of drops to the ground like a normal, it's just a mundane shield now.
8 points of damage?
That was 8 points of damage.
Wow.
And those artificers, man, they're messing with stuff.
The best with
And that brings us to the party, who can now take actions and such.
Can I?
Yeah.
So, they fire this at a seemingly defenseless Davroid. And so in like they're kind of like can't really see with the smoke trail of the rocket. And and as he's like the shield intercepts it, so like they're both moving towards each other. And it blocks it, and then there's smoke, so they think they hit him. And then out of the smoke, Davroid comes like walking
That's
through.
cool. That's dope.
And
He's the Terminator.
Davroid is trained in intimidation.
Okay.
And with everything that has happened in front of them that he's done, he's going to try and intimidate them into surrendering.
Great. That's an intellect task because you're working on them together. They are a swarm, so level 5 difficulty, eased by 1 for your ability.
Mm-hmm.
So level 4, target roll of 12.
Yes, and then like everything that happened so far, plus the hat range, they're hindered 1. Because they'd be...
Oh, because you're in range of the hat.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, so that's hindered 1. So that's to a level 3. For everything that's happened so far to contribute, I would need you to spend an XP on it.
I'll spend.
Okay, that'll take it down to a level 2, target roll of 6 to intimidate them into surrendering.
Free level of effort for intellect task.
Great, level 1, target roll of 3.
Let's do this.
We take those.
6.
A 6, that's a success. You
A success.
You walk towards them, and
pretty
they
sick.
both of them kind of steps back and goes, "Look, man, we don't have it. We don't have it. Okay, he took it upstairs. The analyst has it. Okay, we just test stuff down here. We don't have the vault." We got this stuff. I mean, a lot of it's probably broken or needs repairs because you just knocked it over with a big wave of water, which is like only the first time that's happened in 3 days. So like, it's not like we're not used to it. We could repair it quickish, but it,
Willard is going to other shelves and knocking stuff over intentionally.
in the background, there's just like,
he's just like,
idea.
and he's staring at them while it's happening.
Frode
He's just
is
like,
just
oh yeah,
just
good
holding eye
game."
contact.
You're like a cat. Pat everything off.
Davroid's gonna point to the curtain on the other side of the room and be like, "What's back there?"
That's the vault chamber. Through there. That's where the vaults are. We don't have keys for the vaults. It's just where they keep the stuff. I mean, there might be a key on. You know, the boss might have one, but
Frode,
Yes.
there are some vaults behind that curtain. If you want to go open them,
Right.
you have the key.
Oh, what? Let me try to find out. He like
Davroid
pulls
is
out
gonna-
his key ring like he's got a lot of keys, but it's only 2. And he's just like, is it this one? And he twists it and he checks.
as he's trying to decide what to do, there's an eruption of wild magic as Willard is like destroying all these different things.
He's walking on the tables, like kicking them off the tables and stuff. Like,
Willard, you kick one like you're just having fun with it at this point, and so you're kicking them differently. And one of them, you're like, I bet I can hit this one into that one, and you kick the vial into the other one, and a storm breaks out in this room. Thunderclaps, lightning from the ceiling, 10 feet to the floor, just erupts in the room. The ground is like covered in kind of standing water that's getting like taller and taller as you set off this explosion.
That's a little on the nose.
Hey, can you get it back?
Hey, which two was those? We didn't design one like that. That's cool. Which
Kick that one into that one.
This one? Okay, wait. One of them has like lost focus and is over there like paging through. Not because he's ignoring you. They're just intellectuals. He's like paging through the rubble. Like, okay, so that was a vial of this, and then it looks like we had a tankard of that, and then you just that's cool if you like smash them together. And he like smacks the two shards together, and there's like a little thunder.
You keep it down back there. I'm trying to open a door, and I got too many keys.
You have 2 keys, Frode.
Too many. And then I tried one key and then the other key.
Okay, the first key you try is Earl Colfoot's key. It doesn't do anything. The second one you try unlocks. There's like a door behind the curtains, and so you pull the curtains aside, you unlock the door, the sounds of the storm in the room behind you fade away as you walk into this other room.
I got it open.
It has that like sort of stale feeling of an underground room with no windows that's rarely used, where you can kind of feel the pressure around your ears, and it's you're 20 feet underground at this point. In front of you there are 3 massive metal doors, like big circular doors with these huge hinges, and in the center of each one is a serious looking magical lock. There's kind of like a glow of energy over top of each one, and that's what you find in the vault room.
All right. Interesting looking lock. I've heard that you can open this lock using another lock.
I'm gonna threaten you with a GM intrusion. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I will tell you it's dangerous.
Frode lives for danger. What are you talking about? He goes into the Fey Wilds on purpose. Give him that intrusion.
Okay. As you're kind of like, I've heard you can open a lock with another lock. It's like removing a curse. You see in the corner, kind of hidden in a shadowy corner of the room, the analytic disc is floating there. And as you realize you're being watched, above you, a chamber in the ceiling opens, and a squad of blue-cloaked figures drops down into the room. They're going to try and restrain you as they jump into the room.
Well, that's not very sportsmanlike.
It's a swarm of 4 of them, making them a difficulty 7 task to avoid being restrained. You can try might or speed as they drop down towards you here.
All right. They're falling on me.
Yeah, I mean leaping towards you. It's not like an uncontrolled fall, but yeah, they're coming down.
But once they're in
Remember how they like to leap all the time?
Right. They can't really change their direction.
No. Where's this going?
Well, I have a thing, and I'll spend 3 points to use it, called Danger Instinct. If you are attacked by surprise, whether by a creature, device, or simply an environmental hazard, you can move an immediate distance before the attack occurs. If moving prevents the attack, you are safe.
Okay.
It does specify if they could potentially, like, follow me or something, right? Keep
well,
pace.
these guys can't because they're jumping.
Right.
So what you do is you kind of like roll out of the way or jump out of the way or something. They're going to all ninja land, 3-point landing with the hand up in the air.
I'm rolling
in front of you.
back out the way through the door. Have fun in there.
He's closing it.
Just lock that door.
What's in there? Frode, what was in there?
Yeah, out here the storm is still erupting.
Up to our waists now.
There was like some sort of like, I don't know, wannabe ninjas in there. And they tried tackling me. And I don't think it's worth going in there.
No, probably not. Willard, I think we're done. I think you've had enough fun breaking things.
Oh, there's still a couple things over here on this table.
As he kind of hops from one to the other.
right, well,
This is good
We
therapy for
gotta
him.
restrain these
Oh, it's
three.
very.
What Willard's needed this whole campaign is just a rage room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, wait,
A
before
rage
you
room where
finish
you can destroy
breaking
magical stuff.
We should probably arm up to go take on Storm, right? Because he has the mana vault.
Well, Sarah might. I think Sarah does.
We've got some of the tablets though. If you want some more of these.
I could, I was feeling a little ill. I could use a prescription.
What's a prescription?
It's a prediction.
Prediction, sorry.
Oh, why'd you call it that?
I don't know. I'm making my words confused.
Well, anyway, here you go. And they just like hand you a handful of them. They're like, please stop breaking our things.
All right. What about that weapon you shot me with?
It's like already in pieces. Willard has gotten to it.
Oh, I didn't think that would be useful at all.
Well, it's like nothing in here is useful.
As Willard comes to a rest back in front of the group, you just hear in the background one last thing of shelves like peel out of the wall.
Well, there's 4 guys in there if you really want to deal with them.
We've dealt with enough guys, and we have to deal with more.
We've already canonically established that only one guy has the key to this room. Like, so there's just no way. They're just there. They dropped out of the ceiling. There's no ladder. They're just. I guess they could try and human pyramid or something. But they're.
Well, I suggest we take a note of this. I'm sure they'll still be there when we come back. And
Davroid flips open his notebook.
The pouring rain.
Soaked in their
yeah, take note.
He has his hat on. He's like,
take note of the,
Okay, sure.
the vault there, and then we'll deal with that later. Right, 4 wannabe ninjas. Write that down.
yeah,
right?
four wannabe ninjas.
Wannabe.
Okay.
Well, how many of these predictions can we take from you without you complaining too much? He
Why
turns
do we
towards
care
the
if they
scientist.
complain?
Oh, they've given you everything they have. What they have is
okay.
just a sample. So they have 12 of them, which
Okay.
you can divide up just 3 for everybody.
There you go.
All right.
Before we get out of here, I want to loom over top of the scientists with the lightning and the thunder rippling behind me, and I squat down to them, and I put my sword to their throat. If you don't tell me what I want to know, you will never leave this room alive.
But I feel like we've been kind
Where?
of cooperative given our circumstances.
I grab him by the hair and yank him back. Where is Shale?
Who's Shale?
Stab him in the throat. No. Move to the next one.
The other one. Oh my goodness! Whoa there, buddy. I think we could answer your questions if you gave us a little more clarifying detail.
Precious deputy. Like a
deputy?
son to me. I stabbed that one in the throat. I think I've got one left. He said-
The glass guy's on his hands and feet. He's the one who was looking at the glass. He's like, I just made a really cool discovery. Please don't kill me.
He's a little dwarf boy, and he's the best of all of us.
Look. I obviously don't know anything about him, but if they did take prisoners, we have a line of cells on the next floor up on the side of the crypt, and then there's also the watchtowers and the bell tower. At the top of those might be a good place to hold a prisoner. On the first floor, there are some abandoned classrooms from when this place used to be a school or something before we took it over. They might be able to hold them in there, and then there's like a fortified lecture room in the middle of the first floor where like that's also maybe a place that they could kind of lock them up. I don't know where they are, but those are the places I'd look if I was you.
We have the heart of a spider boy.
I do?
Sure,
Okay. Does that mean I get to live?
you can, but I want you to.
No, you.
I want you to experiment on your.
We
On your
just
dead
did,
friend.
We just did an ultimatum.
I want. You have to promise me. You have to promise me as punishment when I leave this room that you're gonna do. Never mind. I want you to
Armis?
Frankenstein your friends or something. I'm messed up, man. I miss my boy.
Could I borrow a scrap of paper to note down which 2 compounds made this storm happen?
Davroid will tear off a piece and just hand it to him.
Thank you. It's just
Soggy
very
notebook.
thematically appropriate for us. And he starts taking down notes as the rest of you leave. I'm going to let the party roll a collective stealth or might task to either fight your way to the next room you want to go to or sneak your way to it. Which would you prefer?
Stealth. Okay.
Everybody's rolling speed.
Aw.
Willard has specialization in stealth, and if we are still underground in the basement areas, he gets another level of easement because of
It's fine.
subterranean
Just add your
stealth.
3.
I got a
All
16.
right.
Okay.
Got a 25.
Okay.
16 with that 3 added.
Okay.
That's 14.
Okay. Tyler, roll 4d20.
4d20.
Oh, I know what's happening here.
8, 4, 9, and 17.
Aw, man, I'm sorry, but
Yes.
there's no way that's going to compete with their roll. So you are able to avoid patrols. It doesn't mean that it's easy, right? It might take you a little while, 10 or 15 minutes. Tell me where you are going. I'm going to put the map back up here for the chat to see while you decide.
Do we want to check the watchtowers, the classrooms, the bell tower?
Let's start in the bell tower, I think.
Bell tower? I'd like a bell.
In order of convenience, the first floor stuff, so the disused classrooms and the lecture hall are going to be easiest to get to. You don't have to start there. I'm just throwing that out there for you guys. But the bell tower is fine.
I don't know. Maybe in your opinion, GM, would it be easier to get to that stuff from the bell tower, or would it be easier to go from that stuff to the bell tower or the watchtowers?
I mean, I think if there were no danger and I were trying to be systematic about it, I would start in the bell tower, then I would go to the lecture hall, then I would go up the north corridor through those 3 disused classrooms, and then I would be able to go to the towers through the commons. The guard towers, through the commons. That's how I would do it if I were just being systematic about it.
Well, Davroid?
You know my suggestion. But if you guys think we should do something different, let me know.
I'll follow you, Trevor. Yeah, let's do it.
You've always made good decisions.
All of our entire lives, we've made good decisions. That's why we're here.
That's what got us onto this crew, coerced by leverage.
We're going to go to the bell tower.
You emerge at the top of the bell tower. It was a winding spiral staircase to get up. Wooden stairs inside of a tower with very narrow slit windows. It's all kind of old, like Victorian Gothic architecture. You reach the top and you emerge into what is essentially an inside balcony, right? So there's a bridge that leads out to the bell, but then on either side of it, there's just a drop the whole way back down the tower, and then there's a little ring around the outside of the room where you could look out instead of being in. There's kind of a half-high wall, and then you can look out beyond the wall, and then above that is the roof. And from where you are in the bell tower, one, you can tell that you are the only ones here. Nobody else is in the bell tower. You can see in way off in the distance, you can see signs of combat near 2 of the sentry towers. Way out they're not in the keep, they're not nearby. But again, we heard that Jasper is kind of leading another attack and following up. That is still progressing. There's some kind of battle happening out there. In front of you is the peaked roof of the building, and then the 2 watchtowers kind of poke up. They're not as tall as this, so unfortunately from your height, the roof over top of those towers prevents you from seeing in. But the balcony around those 2 towers, both of them are have guards on them. Those guards don't spot you. You did great on your stealth, but you can see that something is happening in the watchtowers that's worth guarding, or they are on the lookout for something else. So that's what you can see from here. Savage is not here. Shale is not here. Sarah is not here. No Mana Vault here.
Have we picked up, has anything come across the sending stone?
No coordination has come across the sending stone.
We could just walk across the roof. Right? It'd be a little dangerous, a little spicy, but...
As a reminder, if you wanted to check the indoor stuff, walking across the roof obviously doesn't help with that.
Oh, yeah. Let's go downstairs to check the indoor stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please. Walking across a roof sounds like my least favorite thing.
So you head back down the stairs. There's a large set of double doors that opens into either the north or the south corridor. I'm assuming you're going to go up the north corridor because that way you can check those classrooms before you swing around to the entrance to the lecture hall. In the disused classrooms, the first 2 you find are just empty. It looks like there are desks and stuff that were here, scrawled on a blackboard, kind of faded by the dust of time, but never erased. is something arcane recomposition is written on it, and then underneath you see a couple of other scribbles that are, you're pretty sure it's written in common, but when you look at it, it's like the words don't make sense. Like something about it doesn't line up with reality. As you keep walking up the hallway, you make a right turn into essentially the corridor in front of the commons. Now, before you walk down this corridor, I'm just going to tell you what's happening. There is a puppet with titanium cables attached to a bunch of guns in the commons, swinging around, shooting at stuff.
Where'd that
There
come
are no
from?
doors between here and there. There are 3 massive arches in the wall, and then there are doors leading into the conference room. So once you got into that lecture hall or that briefing room, you could close the doors against that puppet. But to get there, you will need to make 1 speed defense roll each against the random attacks coming from the bullets and the chaos coming off of it. There are no windows in the briefing room. They told you this was like a hardened space, so of course there wouldn't be any easy way to see in or anything like that. You have the master key, so you won't need to break a lock or anything, but that's the circumstance here. How would you like to proceed?
Has it not run out of ammo? Do they keep giving them guns?
They keep tossing in more guns, is what they've been doing this whole time.
This is a pile of random guns.
Every time once they start hearing clicks, they're just like, all right, throw another one, boys.
Yeah.
That's quite an insane security protocol, but I guess it works.
It deters them from moving through the space too.
It locks it down, though. Well, I'd be willing to just dash through if that's what we need to do to check that that briefing room. That sounds like it could be a likely spot.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, anybody want to use me as cover as we go?
I'm just small. I think I'll be able to duck.
I'm not the best at these, so
Anybody want cover?
You seem to want it a lot, Frode. I'll stick
take the
behind
cover.
you.
All right,
I'll go behind you.
I'll walk. I'll take the hit, as it were, for if they get either easement or free. I just take the hit for them.
Okay. Do you want to just not roll, and I'll let you take the damage, and then they won't have to roll either? Okay. That is a total of, I'll give you a third of the weapons attached to it, so that'll add up to a wild magic incident.
Oh, man.
timing on this.
First, Frode is going to take 9 points of might damage. With, your armor will take some off of that, but 9 points of might damage as the crazy gunshots are ricocheting around the room. You get to the door and you put the master key in the lock. You turn it, and then just as that's happening, just all the arcane stuff happening with this puppet causes a flare of wild magic, and you are blasted against the door you've just unlocked by this massive kind of outpouring of energy. Everybody takes 1 point of speed damage, just random kind of like blast of energy. It kind of gets into your muscles. It's a little bit chilling, and you are thrown through that door. Yes.
Physical?
No, magical. Blasted through the door into the lecture hall room. In the lecture hall room, there are a number of things that have been set up. First off, there is a big display board in that room that is showing an arcane image of whatever's coming out of your analytic disc. Sarah, the analyst, is sitting at the back of the room. There are a number of overturned conference tables creating cover, and there are 6 blue cloaks in front of her, all of them trained on the door. So as you blast in, you trigger their Overwatch ability that they've activated, and all of them are going to fire at you. The Overwatch
lovely.
ability ignores any benefits granted by cover, so Frode's easing is not going to be able to help them in this circumstance. They're going to attack you as a swarm, so we'll do 2, 2, 2, and 2. So everybody needs to make a level 5 defense roll. You can choose speed or might.
Can I spend an XP to have Willard, right before that moment, use his anticipate attack ability that lets him get an easement on defense rolls, speed defense?
I think it would be reasonable
a
for
minute.
Willard when he's around that corner and he knows the gun puppet thing is out there that he's like, I should do this. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Spend an XP,
All right.
use that ability, and we will continue the story here.
Okay.
I'll use muscles of iron because it's probably expired at this point.
You said it's a level 5 task?
Yes, it's a level 5 task. Speed or might defense, your choice.
3 level of effort. Bring that down to a 3 for Frode.
And I'm going to let you all tell me if you succeed because you're all rolling at once. So.
Yeah, I'm good.
Willard succeeds.
15 on the dot.
Davroid was using might, and he's trained in it, so he gets 1 level of easement, and he rolled a 60.
You're all
Okay.
good.
So all of you succeed. So as you're blasted through the door, their Overwatch ability, they all fire at you, but none of them hits. However, that's a delayed ability from a previous round. So now we will enter combat with the ambush in this room. So you're blasted into the room. They all fire their prepared shots, and immediately all of them are going to use an ability called Switch to your sidearm, where they're going to drop the rifles they're holding, and by switching without reloading, they're going to get 2 shots. So same thing against each of you. Another set of level 5 defense rolls, except hindered up to 6 because they're firing twice.
Are they within short range?
No, the lecture hall is long.
Okay.
Gotta make sure I reset that wild magic timer. That really is setting us up for some really fun.
It's been
moments.
timed really nice.
Yeah. 17 minutes apparently is exactly what a scene takes. We now know.
All right.
Make a note of it, Davroid.
I have a success.
Okay.
I also used effort and rolled a 16.
Willard fails.
That's a 10, so he fails.
Okay, so Davroid and Willard, each of you takes 2 revolver shots, essentially, in the conflagration of bullets, shall we say. That's going to deal... Oh, thank you. Little whale. That's going to deal a whale point of damage. That will deal 4 points of damage to both of you. 4 points of might damage dealt by these revolver shots that are thudding into you.
Willard is impaired.
Willard is impaired.
Ooh.
Willard is bleeding heavily at this point. And you can see this is probably the first one that's winged his hat. There's a furrow through like the brim of his hat from one of these bullets. As it it maybe took kind of the side of his head, and left like a little hole tunnel thing carved in his hat.
You see him take a deep breath and just kind of like clench his fists, and if anyone's close to him, they might hear him whisper, just final stretch.
As he whispers final stretch, it is the party's turn. All of you are kind of reeling from these shots being fired at you. It's a wall of cover presenting a hedgehog of, barrels of pistols at you. Sarah the analyst, her feet crossed over each other, smugly staring down at you. She picks up the sending stone. You hear it as well as wherever Savage is as she goes, "We've got him, boss."
I just have to take that smug look off. I'm sorry. And Frode just gets up, takes his 4 predictions.
All 4 of them?
Just chucks them all over there.
Okay.
And he's running into it.
Okay.
Can I join Frode in that?
Yeah.
And just send all 3? So we have
Are you
8 of
also
them?
sprinting with him?
Yeah. Running side by side, just tossing the
The 2 of you run forward, so a total of 7 predictions thrown.
Hold on. Willard's plan was also
Oh, no.
he could throw 2 knives.
2 knives.
2 knives. He was planning on, and I don't know if this makes sense for flavor, he's going to put 2 tablets in his mouth, chew them, and then just spit onto the knives, and then throw them both.
Okay. Willard, I need you to roll 2d8 for me. I need both numbers. This is determining what your predictions do.
All right.
For those of you throwing 4, we're just going to make it go boom in a big way.
I got a 5 and a 1.
A 5 and a 1. Excellent. One of those you spit onto a knife. The other one, make a recovery roll.
Ooh.
Yes,
As
sir.
you chew it up and
yeah.
you get a health benefit
Yes,
here.
sir.
But one of them you spit onto the knife, which is going to have some lightning damage on it. This
Nice.
throw, I am going to have you throw impaired, as the pool recovery is kind of happening in the same action. So go ahead and do this throw. You're rolling against Sarah, I'm assuming. You're throwing it at Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay, so to specifically hit Sarah is a difficulty 6. To get it over on the other side of the room is a difficulty 3.
So it's a difficulty 6.
Yeah, difficulty 6.
Okay. That is eased by 1 step because normally he's specialized, but he's also impaired.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Let's go, Willard.
Difficulty 5, target 15.
Rolled a 7 and he has 0 XP left.
Nuts. Willard is unable to make the hit. The knife kind of just flings out there and a little lightning burst kind of comes off of it, but it doesn't really damage anybody. However, Willard, you feel rejuvenated and you can tell that it's not like you're all better, but your cuts stop bleeding as kind of this extra surge of vitality enters your body. Now, Frode and Armis, you both just threw a bunch of magic in their general direction. Is this indiscriminate, or are you trying to specifically hit Sarah? If it's indiscriminate, I'm not even going to make you roll. We're just going to roll damage.
Oh, I just chucked him.
Okay.
Yeah, I was also just chucking
Great.
him at like whatever this wall
Great.
is.
So we're just going to have this huge burst of flame. And it doesn't matter where you are in Shadow Peak Savage, you see smoke. As this thing just this huge explosion that rattles the bones of the building, Gothic stone building shaking in its foundations as this huge thing erupts in the distance. Armis and Frode, both of you need to roll a might defense 6 to avoid taking 3 points of like ambient damage from the fire.
That's nothing to Frode.
Free level effort, muscles of iron.
Don't you just block 3 damage anyway?
It's ambient, which
It's
is
ambient.
a little different.
okay.
Yeah.
I can only block 1 ambient.
Oh, okay.
Put a little effort in this.
All right. Well, I guess I took 2 damage.
All right, you take 2 fire damage. The room just begins sizzling.
Don't pay attention to my pools over here. Don't pay attention.
That's private.
That's private. My pool is private.
Yeah.
There's a fence. There's a fenced pool.
Only a 14 for Armis.
Okay, so Armis, you take 3 points of fire damage as this just eruption of fire, the room sizzling in smoke. Sarah's wide eyes as you sprint through. You still have not used, well, I guess throwing that is your action, kind of. So you make it up to Sarah, but you're not attacking this round, over just a wall of dead bodies and fire. This firing squad thing she had prepared, completely not ready for you to have that many explosives and ciphers.
You have all the perfect cover.
Yeah,
And
all the different pieces fell into place for the
She
wrong
thinks
team.
she's so
just
smart,
now.
doesn't she? She thinks she's an analyst
So
who
Davroid is
double-crossed
gonna
us.
sprint across the room. It's a long distance. I guess he's gonna try and hit her with his axe.
Okay, speed 8 to cross a long distance and take an attack.
Uh,
Speed 4 to cross a long distance without falling, or speed 4 to go a short distance and attack. So you need speed 8 to attack and run the whole distance.
Okay, I'll just do the speed 4 to go the long distance.
Great. Speed 4, target of 12.
10, I failed.
As you are running, I'm going to say that you don't fall over, you make it the whole distance, but you take 4 points of ambient damage from the fire as you sprint through the big explosion fire thing.
Can I spend an XP and refuse that and fall instead?
I'll let you this time. No, normally.
Okay.
But I think it's fine this time. Sure. Just don't get used to it. You...
In the finale where it's the last session of the campaign.
Yeah. Well, it's not the last fight of the finale.
That's
So what happens then is the fire surges in front of you, and you kind of lose your balance and fall over.
Yeah.
So you're on the other side of the wall of fire from them.
Yeah.
Armis and Frode are inside the flame, ready to fight, and then Willard is, I think, still back at the door because he threw things instead of joining the running fray here. Which brings us to the top of initiative order. Are you going to spend any XP on anything? Yes, he is. What's going on?
With the room on fire, I would say it'd only be normal for a fire or sprinkler, maybe some sort
Fire
of thing
suppression system of some
like
kind?
that. But that will also alert. Oh wait, I'm not thinking this one out.
Make sure you're talking to the mic for me.
These doors are shut, correct? All 3 of these. So we
The lecture hall doors?
Yes.
One set of doors is open because they were blasted through them. Nobody took the time to close them.
Okay, then I'm gonna have reinforcements come in.
If I may, you could spend 1 XP to have your puppet wind up as it's just scampering around. It could scamper through the door and enter the room.
I forgot about the
That would
puppet.
probably be the most devastating
That would make
attack
more
you could
sense.
do.
We're gonna do that.
would you do that?
I'll spend some.
Because
I'll
he's
spend
new
extra
to the
XP if I have to.
I know. I'm just.
Okay, that's a 1 XP thing. You're just tweaking a circumstance that's already there. So even as this is happening, Willard, you hear behind you the like creepy undead version of that children's song from the circus, where it's like Tinker Tailor Soldier, as it like rushes into the room and begins. Its gunshots are going to start firing. We'll just give it. This round was a move, so next round it will begin attacking. Sarah, on the other hand, is going to, as she sees you coming and blasting through the flames, she's like, I gotta get out of here. And she jumps to her feet, and she's going to try and dodge past you to get out of the fire. So she's going to leap through the flame and away. She is not a high enough level to avoid taking damage, so she does, like, her clothes get a little singed. You can spend an XP to take a reaction and try and catch her, or you can just chase her the next round, when it's your move.
I'll spend an XP.
Okay, spend an XP. So your intrusion is a reaction, and that's actually a good comparison to, like, the D&D reaction. You can always play your intrude to get one.
I'll go to clothesline.
Okay.
Stiff arm.
All right. Might or speed. She is a level 4 creature. Target of 12.
Well, 3 level effort.
Target 3.
Target 3, as we all know.
We
Gotta roll
take
that
those.
9.
We take those. I got a 16.
Let's go.
Sarah tries to leap away, and you just clothesline her. Her red dwarven hair, like, kind of flute, like it moves forward when the rest of her is stopped. It kind of like wraps over the top of your arm, and then you just boom, slam her into the ground. Sarah is pinned and restrained. She's not a combatant, so as long as you're just gonna hold on to her, she's not going to escape. Or you could just kill her if you want. Like, you can coup de grace. She's down, and Armis is next to you if he wants to participate too.
I'll just keep my foot on her for now.
She's like,
I did what I said I'd do, is take that smug look off your face, so...
She's too dangerous to be kept alive.
Davroid, the puppet, tried to kill us.
across the
Davroid through the flames.
Yeah.
Just like, she's too dead.
Let me deal with the turncoat. I lessen the pressure a little bit to let her talk. You got anything to say for yourself?
Do it! She holds up the sending stone. GM intrusion on you. That a failsafe has been rigged to the room to drop it through the floor into the crypts. Essentially like a line of explosives around the ring of it is going to drop the room, killing her instantly, but also flinging all of you through the room.
Well, she's gonna die for this weak cause. All right. Yeah.
You're spending the XP or no?
No, I'll take it.
All right. There is a massive... And you hear the sound as, like, the floor begins kind of ricocheting. Savage, you obviously know that this has happened. The walls explode inwards. The ceiling jets of fire downwards towards you. All of you take 4 ambient might damage from the flames as the room drops, and then you can roll a might defense task of level 6 against the fall damage.
So it's the 4 initially.
The 4 is from the fire, but the room is falling, so it's not like that's a thing you dodge or you tank. It's just like this is all around you everywhere from the explosion. The fall is something that your abilities could actually help you avoid. And so you're rolling a might or speed defense, difficulty 6.
Davroid's impaired.
Armis is also impaired.
We can use speed. Is that what you just said?
You can, yes. Might or
Okay,
speed
great.
defense.
And what difficulty?
6.
Okay, that's down to a 5 because of my. Oh wait, no, this isn't an attack. I guess.
This is an attack.
This is an attack. My
She set
anticipated
off
attack
the
helps.
explosives to cause
Okay.
it, so yeah.
Okay. Moments before it happens, Willard just goes, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, Willard sees her like tense and pull up the thing. The puppet too is just like spiraling around the room as the
Oh,
fire
man.
goes off. That explosion is enough that the puppet's gonna lose some strings.
I failed.
I passed.
Willard passes. He like because he saw it right beforehand. He was able to take a moment to put in some effort and just like try to time like a jump and like kind of find a spot where he's timing his jump perfectly so that the fall like he's able to kind of land softly.
I will spend an XP to re-roll. Yes. 19.
Nice.
So I pass. But I don't get the minor effect because I'm impaired.
Who's failed? Who did anyone fail?
Yeah, so
Armis failed.
Armis failed and takes 6 damage from the fall. To might or if your might pool is empty, it goes into speed next.
Might and speed are at 0.
No.
Oh shoot!
Oh, debilitated.
Debilitated. All Armis is covered in blood, debris, soot staining his face. All you can do is crawl an immediate distance. And actually, since your speed is 0, you can't even crawl. You're just laying there.
Davroid is going to run over to Armis and cast regeneration again.
Okay, so you get 1 point this round from the regeneration as the fire just kind of rages around all of you.
It's going up 12.
Did Frode succeed?
Yeah, Frode succeeded.
Okay, so Frode and Willard, it's like kind of just the two of you standing. Davroid doesn't look that great, but he's doing his best to tend to Armis. Zoom in on this moment as the two of you are standing there. Dust is still raining down around you. Fire, the puppet obliterated in the explosion. The last few bullets ricocheting off the walls. There's a huge 10-foot gap in the ceiling above you between here and the top floor. The only places that are left for Savage to be are in one of those two guard towers, or he may have left. Like, he could be outside, or he may have fled the Shadow Peak entirely. Although that seems unlikely, given, this is base of operations. It's kind of his pride and joy sort of thing.
Willard is going to, crawl up from his, he was able to kind of soak the fall in with you landing on all fours. He stands up and he takes a look at Frode and just kind of readjusts his hat. And he has this look in his eyes that I don't know if Frode has seen before. He is pissed as all get out. He looks like he is at the end of his rope, and he stomps up to the body of Sarah and snatches the sending stone that she was carrying.
Okay.
And he picks it up, and he uses a voice that some of you guys haven't heard him use since some of the first episode, where he just goes,
Storm, meet me in the courtyard outside. We need to end this now.
There's gonna be a long pause. Here's all he's gonna say is, I beat you to it.
He's there. No more games. We're doing this now.
and
Then
Frode,
join me in the fountain.
Frode throws down the sending stone and just kind of looks up at the rest of the group and just says,
I'm ending this. Come with me if you can.
Well, no more mercy after that. I learned my lesson. Everybody I've kept alive, tried to talk them down, has only tried to kill me again and again. So, yeah, I'll help you with this one, Willard. Yeah. And Frode shrugs. You can see bits of his Hematitian rock skin kind of flaking off, bits of exposed and fragile skin bleeding. Something vulnerable he hasn't felt, but he still feels numb to it. Still hasn't acquired it yet, and he just shrugs it off, and he's like, let's finish this thing.
Armis is gonna pop a cigarette in his mouth. He uses his one action recovery roll that he has not used yet this entire time. Gets a little bit back from puffing his beautiful cigarettes that provide him health. That's a 6, baby.
nice.
He's gonna look at Willard and say, I'll be damned if I let the world be robbed of that delicious peach tea of yours too early. We're gonna end this together, brother.
Davroid is like holding up Armis.
Such. We still gotta find Shale.
If I may flavor it, Frode, who is specialized in climbing, is probably able to sort of get to the top, and then he's so tall that he can just give a hand up to everybody. Like 10 feet is not that insurmountable of a climb, to where you kind of pull everybody out. The commons are empty, covered in bullet holes and gunpowder stains and everything. The stained glass windows of the atrium are shattered inwards, and through the door out ahead of you, you can see there's like the big fountain in the middle of the courtyard area, and on the other side of the fountain, goggles on, everything, is Savage Tempest with a briefcase in one hand, his revolver in the other hand, and in front of him, magically suspended in the air, tied up by his feet, is Shale.
Well,
Storm, I propose a duel.
A one-on-one, you say?
Knives versus pistol. Winner takes the case and the boy.
How about
You
no?
accept.
And on that, he's gonna spend an XP to shoot his revolver into the air, and instead of it being an actual projectile, it's a flare, which he's gonna have multiple people overlooking the fountain and courtyard to activate lasers and to point down on all
Roll
four
a
heroes.
d6, Tyler.
6.
6 of them pointing down into the courtyard. You're inside the building, so they're not aimed at you yet, but they're pointed back towards the wall. And you can see, through the smoke and the various mist and gunpowders and things easily enough to kind of illuminate the lines through kind of like a haze. Willard, the camera swoops behind, your hat and silhouette as your kind of mole claw trigger, is itching towards one of your knives. And beyond you, we see all these lasers kind of shooting through the mist.
Funny, I hadn't heard that Storm was a coward. This is news to me.
Dude, he's calling out your pride. Roll an intellect task. Jake, roll an intellect task. Jake will set your difficulty.
All right.
Okay. Willard is gets a free level of effort to add 3, and then he's going to use another level of effort in
Okay,
addition.
add 6.
All right, let's roll this thing. That is 11 plus 6, which is 17.
Okay, 17 is going to be, the closest is in a 15, so that's a level 5 task with a difficulty of 15 for you to beat.
For intellect?
Yeah, for intellect.
So I have to roll a 15
You have to roll a 15 or
as of
higher.
now. Can I use 2 levels of effort on that?
You can. So
All
that'll
right.
cost you 5 points minus whatever your edge is in intellect. And that will ease it by 2 steps to a level 3 task with a difficulty of 9. And unfortunately for the players, we take those.
We do take those.
11.
No.
11. Even though he's impulsive, even though he's all about his pride, he knows he's got the right hand right now.
All my resources.
And he is holding his ground. He's got Shale in front of him suspended in the air, and he does not take the bait. It still probably pisses him off, though.
Yeah, you got anything?
Oh, he's gonna be sitting there, kind of tapping his foot a little bit. You can absolutely see that you've fraud him a little bit, but to the point where he is using just all the resources he has to his advantage right now.
Okay. Huh.
Anybody got any
Josh.
predictions left?
Yes?
Can I spend an XP to dictate what one of my predictions does or is?
Yes.
Okay. I'll spend an XP and I'm gonna throw it like straight up the courtyard and make it like a flashbang that disorients the people with the lasers.
Okay, roll a d6 to see what the difficulty task is.
2.
What level it is. Level 2?
Yeah.
2 of the lasers are disoriented. So it works
okay.
on 2 of them, and 4 of them are still looking towards the door as this thing goes off. It's kind of a smaller explosion out there.
Am I able?
Yes?
am I?
I'd say at that signal, I would think Willard is like ready to rush, like ready to. All right, let's go, and he's gonna
Okay.
lead the charge.
Great. With
Now,
Yes.
hear me out. I got an idea to add to your charge
Throw him.
that I think would make. That was not what I was thinking. But that's so much better. Can I? Do you want to be thrown?
Yeah, throw me.
All right. 14.
14.
Nice.
Respectable.
Willard. The shot switches into slow motion as Frode runs forward and grabs Willard and picks him up. Frode, you've never made a throw like this before. You've never put your heart and soul into it like this before. And as you wind up with Willard Taffy behind you, you can hear the very slow kind of shing as he draws the first knife or whatever to get ready for his attack.
Yep.
You set your feet. It is the perfect throw. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and release. Willard soaring through the air. Willard, describe the approach trajectory as you swing towards Savage Tempest. You're not gonna, don't get the whole way to hitting him yet. You fly through the air towards him.
Okay. Willard is flying in the air towards him, and whether this is for flavor or for whether he's actually able to do this, he's got 2 knives drawn from his bandolier, and he's flying with them both outstretched like this, just like ready to just plant them in Savage as
so
he
you're
lands.
like holding them like point down kind of a thing,
Yep.
like so they're aimed
Yep.
forwards. Great,
Yep.
like twin little like mandibles almost sticking out
Yep.
of him as you soar through the front door of the keep. Right, you pass the atrium, you soar over the shattered glass, you enter kind of the hazy, smoky area outside, and you make a speed. Well, you can't make a speed defense roll. You're on trajectory. A might defense roll, difficulty 5 for the 4 remaining lasers that are gonna all take shots at you as you enter their Overwatch zone.
All right, we're raw dogging this roll. Let's do it.
Difficulty is 15. I mean, it's a difficulty
right.
5. Target is 15.
Let's go.
We rolled a 16 on the first roll.
16 on the
Let's go.
first roll. You twist through the air, bullets whipping past you. And now all that remains between you and between you and Savage is distance. As the distance closes, Savage makes a might defense roll. Frode threw you with, what was that, an 18?
Well, I used a lot of things to ease it down, but I passed the difficulty 6.
Right, what was your roll?
Oh, that was a 14.
14, so that's a difficulty 4 defense roll that he threw at you. And you can use might or speed to try and avoid this attack.
I'm gonna use 3 levels of effort for this.
Okay, so that'll take it to a difficulty 1 with a target roll of 3 as Willard soars towards you.
8.
No.
8.
No.
8. You are able to dodge out of the way as Willard lands, turns that kinetic energy into his own attack, and Willard, I'll let you roll an attack opposed by his defense roll now.
Yes, so Willard lands with his knives into the ground in order to like stop his momentum immediately, but then one hand is still on the ground, the other one just immediately flicks up like it's just one quick motion to just throw that one of those knives right at him.
Okay, Willard, this is a speed attack roll. The better you roll, the harder it is for Savage to dodge. So you
Okay.
can, apply whatever effort and stuff you want.
He's specialized, so it's +6,
Okay.
and that's what we're doing.
Okay. So this is a roll with a +6 to attack him.
17.
17. Savage, speed defense with a target of difficulty level 5, target roll of 15.
I'm gonna use all my levels, so 4 levels of effort for this.
Okay, so we're dropping it to a 1 again. As Savage dumps everything he has into it. Savage has never been so alive as he is on a battlefield in like dense combat.
10.
So this is what he lives for. And with
Willard
that
knows
10,
that he's
he
straining
sidesteps.
Savage by even missing. Like,
Yeah.
he knows that he's getting so close that he's almost doing as much damage to Savage by making him move than by actually hitting him.
So Willard, you've thrown that knife, and Savage has kind of stepped to the side and gotten out of the way of it. Are you doing your double throw with your action?
Yes.
Okay.
Next knife.
Okay, so Willard's he's gonna throw another one at you.
This one is a 19.
19. This is a difficulty 6, target roll of 18 to surpass.
I'll use only 2 levels of effort.
Okay, so that drops it to a 4. Target roll is 12.
Ooh, 6.
Okay, are you
Yeah.
gonna take the hit?
I'm gonna take it.
You take the hit.
4
That's
damage.
4 damage, right? Take 4 points of damage to your might pool as the knife skins across your face, leaving a really cool scar that looks awesome reflected in the burning firelight.
I don't know if I'm able to do this with the player intrusion, but where's Chasm Jasper right now?
Chasm Jasper is fighting at one of the sentry towers. You could spend an intrusion to help his fight go better. He won't be here now, but it will speed his advance towards you.
I would like to do that, yes,
Great. You
please.
spend an XP and maybe over Savage's sending stone. You hear, "So we're being over," and it kind of like cuts out as another sending stone is destroyed in the hail of attacks from Jasper and the Gold Wardens. That's going to... So basically everyone else is moving closer to the fight here, which is a short distance for free. So you're just moving 1 zone per round. So can you count up how many that is, and we'll just wait that many rounds and then introduce you into combat?
2, 3.
So 3 rounds before.
We're in the atrium. We're on the third.
Yeah. Okay, great. So 3 rounds before you can enter combat, and then everyone else will move forward from there. So for the next 3 rounds, Willard, I'm just going to have you and Savage. So Savage can now take his turn because you've just attacked him twice.
All right. First thing I want to ask is, can I see Davroid? Like, I can see him.
Davroid, yes, you can see that he's advancing, but he's very far away, and Willard is right in front of you.
All right. So I'm going to use 2 of my abilities right now.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 2 intellect points on Quarry. Choose a Quarry. You are trained in all tasks involving following, understanding, interacting with, or fighting that creature, and choosing Davroid.
Okay.
So that I might have more chance.
Great.
And then I'm also going to use tumbling moves for this current fight. It's 5 speed points. When you use an action to move, speed defense rolls are eased until the end of your next turn. At this point, I'm already wiping the blood off my face, or Savage is wiping the blood off his face, and not doing it in a very panicky mood, but just in a annoyed mood, like, ow, wow, like, you just messed up my beautiful face. But what he's gonna do is he's gonna just say, to complete this game, and he's gonna go ahead and pull out both of his throwing knives.
Oh, snap!
And go ahead and take one jump backwards and just launch one.
So those will be speed attacks. And the higher you roll, the harder it will be for Willard to dodge. So you can choose how much effort and stuff to put into it. Otherwise, it's a straight D20.
I'm gonna put 1 level of effort into it.
Okay. So your first attack roll, you put 1 level of effort in. So that's 3 points minus your speed edge. Mm-hmm. And then go ahead and roll, and we'll add 3 to your roll.
All right. 10's on the first one. Can I spend an XP to roll again?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm spending 1 more XP.
Hey, we got him.
There we go. Starting to fall down the rabbit hole. All right, 12. So 15. So 10 and 15.
Okay. 10 and 15. So Willard, you need to succeed on, was that in order, 10 and then 15? Okay. So you need to succeed on a difficulty 3 speed or might defense, followed by a difficulty 5 speed or might defense.
Okay. All right. Would you say it's been more than a minute or less than a minute since we had our crazy ordeal in the locked classroom meeting room thing?
Less than a minute.
Less than a minute. Let's go. All right. So that's eased. Both of them are eased by 1.
Okay.
So that's a difficulty 2 and a difficulty 4. Failure on the first. We're gonna reroll that. Spend an XP.
Okay.
Okay. Still a failure on the first.
No.
And then success on the second.
Okay. So you take, are those 2 or 4 points of damage, Savage?
My
For
throwing knives are actually 3.
3 points of damage. Take 3 points of damage as the throwing knife kind of skids across. So you hit him with a throwing knife, he hits you with a throwing knife. And you also get a really cool scar on your face that glistens in the firelight.
Willard is impaired once again.
You wanted this 1v1.
Oh, snap. Okay. Are you going to have your snipers hold off then? They would technically get around.
No, I still want them to do their thing.
Okay. So then that's going to be a difficulty, there's 4 of them, difficulty 5 swarm attack from the snipers.
As the lasers move towards Willard, Willard just smiles and looks at him dead in the eyes and said, 1v1 my ass.
You know what? Make another intellect defense roll. Again, he's going after your pride. This is your whole thing.
Yeah.
So he may be able to convince you to hold them off if you fail this intellect roll.
Should I roll another intellect for that?
We'll say you can roll. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I was gonna say the difficulty could just be your tier, which is 4.
No, I want to roll and see if I can make that higher, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Nat 20.
Don't roll. He gets you. So he hits your pride, and Savage, how do you call off the snipers?
I'm just gonna put my head down, shake it a little bit. I'm gonna put the hand up, two and just point, kind of make 2 signals this way, there, 2 signals that way, out.
And the lasers just kind of raise up. The rest of you moving towards them see the lasers like lift up and leave. And now it's just Savage standing over Willard. Both of them have been just slightly bloodied by the fight they're in, but Willard does not look great.
All right. I would like to spend my final XP to determine what my last prediction is. So I would like the prediction to be something that can slow or stop Storm's movement, so that whatever this thing is where he just started bouncing around and shit. Willard's like, stop that.
Roll a d6 to figure out what the level is.
Okay, 4.
4. For 4 rounds, you will be hindered in speed tasks.
Even though they're already eased for 1 more turn, technically?
So it would just cancel out for that
At
turn.
least for 1 turn, yeah.
Yeah. And then for the next 3 turns, you'll be hindered by 1.
All right.
So
Willard, as he activates this cipher.
I would like to think that Willard takes the prediction, and then just like he's like holding it in one of his claws, he like uses the knife to just kind of cut into it and get some of the dust on it onto the knife. And as the dust gets on the knife, you see the knife start to freeze, and then he throws the knife at Savage, at Savage.
And it maybe doesn't even hit him in a way that deals damage. It just activates this cipher on him.
Great. Let's do that.
So yeah, it kind of like the flat of the blade hits you and you think it's no big deal. You kind of wipe the powder off and you feel this kind of cold sinking into your skin. And you're like, ah, shucks, it's a time thing, you know, as he kind of hits you. And for you, like your reflexes slow a little bit. The world gets a little sluggish. And that will bring us back to the top of initiative order. So everybody gets a little bit closer. None of his friends are attacking because Savage called for the 1v1. And the... so then it's Savage's turn.
All right. Well, Savage is going to spend an XP or 2 XP for the ones that, although he called off his snipers, he is still going to call in the 2 Ruby Guardians that were fighting Shale earlier that he called off, and bring them back in and kind of show up behind this crew here while they're exiting the atrium.
Okay. I see what you mean. Sure.
Just them.
Just keep us away.
And then I'm also, at this point, Savage is going to reach into his briefcase and finally...
Ooh, he's reaching into the mana vault?
Finally going to go ahead and go crazy.
Okay.
He's going to pull out 2.
Okay.
2 different ones.
Cool. So you pull out 2 predictions, so to speak. The rest of you were in the corridor, so now you're in the eatery, the commons. As you're trying to get from the commons into the atrium, in front of you, like out of the shadows, step the 2 Ruby Wardens who are fighting Shale. They just kind of step out, and each of them takes a position in front of you. They go,
All right. Let's go.
Do I know what these 2 do yet?
No.
No, I don't. Oh,
You
so
can
I
spend
don't
an
even
XP
know.
to choose, 1 XP per, or when you take them, you're going to roll a d8, and I'm going to pick, like, I have a chart.
So, can I want to, and if I have to spend an XP, I can do this, but I want to throw down, I want to toss 1 down, but then as I throw it down, I want to throw a smoke grenade down at myself to back away a little bit farther
Okay,
and kind of lose some distance in some eyes.
so I'll let you do that if you spend another XP, because it's too many actions, but the smoke grenade, because it's an environmental effect, I would take that as an intrusion. So I'll let you do that if you spend an XP. So your action is throwing one of the predictions down.
Yeah.
And then the intrusion is we've added in the smoke grenade.
And there's
The smoke grenade is a level 3, I believe. Great. So it lasts for 3 rounds. And then you also, we're going to roll a d8 to see what your prediction does.
2.
2.
Go, lucky 2.
As you throw it down, Willard, you hear a crackle of energy in the air as a thunderbolt just erupts down on the spot where you are. I would like you to make a speed or might defense roll with a difficulty of, let me roll for its level, difficulty 2, target roll of 6.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, and
We
it
take
eases
those.
down to 1 because it's speed, so it's
Okay.
difficulty 1, target 3.
And he is speed.
He sees it right before it happens.
He feels
Yeah.
it.
19. I don't get any minor effect though because I'm impaired.
Okay.
But 19.
You dive out of the way as this lightning bolt just smashes into the ground right where you were. The thunder rings out, and as that thunderbolt kind of, echoes across the courtyard, the camera pans back in to the commons area where all these tables have been scattered about, gunpowder stains on the walls, and 3 heroes face off against 2 wardens. With the ruby wardens in front of you. They appear to have received healing since you last encountered them.
Of course they do.
And they are standing in front of you. Each of them has a sidearm at their hips, and they're holding a gun in their hands. They have foregone the axes and stuff that Coldfoot liked because he was a traditionalist. How will you proceed?
Frode just cocks his arms and then just bum rushes one. While they're trying to look all cool, like, yeah, we got guns and we're back. Frode wants to close the distance by the time they had that thought.
Okay. Frode, it is a short distance to cross the room to them and attack. So you can make a speed 4 to attack as well, or you can just get right up in their face.
Oh, well, shoot.
Shoot.
3.
3. Okay. So you do not. You run towards them and you trip and you slide on your face a little bit.
You win some, you lose some.
As you fall over. Davroid and Armis, what are you doing? Davroid, your hat, that's a day that lasts?
Yep, a full day.
So they are hindered by the fact that they're within a short distance of you.
Davroid is going to throw one of the predictions at like in between them.
Great, roll a d8.
Yep. Also a 2.
Also a 2. You hear a crackle of energy in the air, and a lightning bolt shatters through the roof. So you also hear kind of like some fire kind of erupt and sizzle where it burns a hole in the wooden roof of the building and lands where they are. Roll a d6 to figure out what power level.
3.
It does hit one of them, and they take 3 points of lightning damage as it slams into them, and kind of like does not knock them over.
Instead of moving a short distance right in front of them, could he move behind one of the tables for cover?
That can be an immediate distance, no roll.
Okay, cool.
Great. So you just kind of take a position behind a table.
Yeah.
And then Armis.
Armis
is on the ground in front of you.
Armis would like to try and shoot his webs and see if he can snag the gun away from one of them.
Awesome. That's your magic item, right?
That's just my hands.
Cool.
Hand webs
for you.
That's trying to shoot and do just like a pull it back kind of thing.
So that's a ranged attack essentially. So we'll do a speed roll for that. They are level 3 creatures. So level 3 target roll of 9.
We take those.
We definitely take those.
17, baby.
17. You do snatch one of their weapons. You going for a sidearm or one of the main rifles they're holding?
Whatever the thing they're holding right now is.
Okay,
the big
so
gun.
you pull a rifle out of one of their hands and it kind of snaps back towards you.
Oh.
You wouldn't be able to fire it this round, but next round you could. And that's all 3 of you have acted. They're going to act. The one that got struck by lightning is going to raise his rifle and try and fire back. He's like so shocked by it that he doesn't even bother moving or anything. He just literally where he's standing, he's like, I need to shoot somebody. He's going to take aim at Frode and he's going to fire. Frode, I need you to make a difficulty 3 defense roll.
You got this.
Survive, 3 level of effort.
Difficulty 1, target roll of 3.
I got a 7.
Oh,
You got a 7.
I thought that was a 1.
He fires at you, but
X
you
on that
are
one.
able. You just kind of like squirm out of the way. It's not even like a roll. You just like shimmy a little bit, and it kind of like barely misses you. Kind of Matrix. The other one is going to use its ability switch to your sidearm, and so it's going to pull out its sidearm and take 2 shots. So it's going to attack Frode once and Armis once. Frode a level 3 defense roll. Armis a level 3 defense roll.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone, says the man who stomped towards them to get in their face and fight them.
12. 3 level effort and all that,
Yeah.
Rerolling again.
But I think 12 would have found it.
12 would have been fine, yeah.
I'm destined to be shot.
3 points of damage as a revolver shot thuds into you. And that's going to bring us back out to the courtyard where Willard Taffy and Savage Tempest are duking it out. Willard, it is your turn.
Before Willard does anything, he's going to yell out through the smoke.
I think I know why you had to go by a nickname this whole time. If this amount of cowardice was ascribed to you, that'd be pretty embarrassing.
And he will just push through the smoke and try to use his acute sense of smell, which is his dirt folk ability, to locate Savage, because he doesn't need his eyes.
Great. I will give you 2 options. You may either roll an opposed intellect task, and if you rattle him, his defense task will be hindered by 1 the next time you attack him. Or I will not make you roll to find him. Your sense of smell will just work, and you can pursue him and continue fighting.
I'll do the second option.
Okay, so then you are able to, you pick your direction, you rush through the smoke. It's only a short distance to get to him, or an immediate distance, I mean, because he's only just started retreating. And so you can catch up and continue pressing the attack. Go ahead and make an attack roll if you want.
All right, he's going to throw another knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Beat him up.
He can't throw 2 knives anymore because the second knife costs a couple speed points, and he cannot afford to do that.
Got it.
That's a cocked die. Gonna re-roll.
Okay.
That's a 7.
That's a 7.
Oh, I guess 7 plus 6. So 13.
Oh, because you put effort into it? 13?
Well, because of his specialty. Sorry.
Great. So Savage, defense roll level 4. Target roll of 12.
I'm going to use 1 level of effort.
Okay, is this might or speed?
Speed.
Okay. 1 level of speed effort, 3 minus your edge, brings it down to a difficulty 3, target roll of 9. As we all know,
We take those.
12.
No.
12, you succeed. You dodge out of the way of another knife as Willard is drawn further into the courtyard. Savage, it is your turn. This freaking little mole keeps throwing knives at you, doesn't even have guns on him. He's throwing knives, he's talking trash. What are you going to do?
At this point, he is going to... So I have this cipher, but I guess I don't understand exactly what it's meaning. It's called shift boost.
Shift boost?
Shift boost.
Okay, it's going to increase your speed. So instead of an immediate distance, you can move a short distance for free. Instead of a short distance, you can move a long distance for speed task 4.
Only 1 time, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And he's still hindered from my ice knife.
So I'll hold that then. In this case, I'm just gonna pull out the revolver and go ahead and shoot. 11 plus 3, 14.
14. So Willard, that's a 12, difficulty 4, target roll of 12. Speed
Brought down to a 3
defense.
because of my cool ability.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with a GM infusion
the
that it
right port,
expires
okay.
just because we're around a minute. Unless you
Either
wanna
way, he fails.
Okay.
And I'm sure no matter how much damage it is, he is debilitated.
Oh, no. Okay, so 3 points of damage, which goes, if you're out of might, it goes into speed. And if you're out of speed, then it goes into intellect.
Yep, he is debilitated.
Debilitated. Willard falls to the ground. You can see beyond the Ruby Guardians in front of you that Willard kind of like drops to his knees. There's smoke swirling around him, blood everywhere. He is not well. Savage standing over him. You know, his pride has been piqued, and Savage has answered.
He's right here. I've delayed all I can.
He's like he can only like he can't even really meaningfully crawl, but he is just like all of his effort is going into just like he's still like pursuing Savage even if he can't even really move.
Okay. Yeah, so he's just like crawling, sliding towards Savage. We go back into the commons where the 3 of you are facing off with 2 of the Ruby Wardens. One of them has been struck by lightning.
I think at this, Frode will stand up, see what's going on with Willard, grab a Ruby Guardian, and chuck him.
They're huge.
Here are your options.
Okay.
You will have to roll 2 very difficult tasks, 1 to restrain and 1 to throw.
That makes sense.
Or you may spend an XP that they are so surprised that you can get the first one you can pick up, and you just have to roll a very difficult task to throw.
I'll spend XP on that. That's a bargain.
Frode gets to his feet. They ready themselves for like fisticuffs, and instead Frode's just like, I'm picking you up, as he does, and gets ready. You pick up. Probably it's easier to get the one that's been wounded. Like they're more off their game, so you pick that one up, and you just ready a thrown attack against Savage Tempest. He is 2 zones away from you plus a little bit, so we're gonna count this still as very far. So that's gonna be he's a tier 4 character. Well, I guess I'll let you oppose roll. So you roll your attack. I'm gonna hinder you by 3 steps, 3 zones of distance.
All right.
And then so -9 to your roll, and then he will roll a speed or might defense against it.
-9. Well, might as well make that a -3 for my specialized and
Yes,
free level of effort. Make that
just normal.
not just normal, and
Freaking Frode.
I can't really do much else.
Okay.
Can I? Think. Well, I'm assuming he's not a flesh-eating, non-humanoid creature.
No, he's not.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's not a squints at notes.
All right, it's a straight roll then.
Yep.
A humble re-roll because I have XP left. Do I use my last XP to re-roll that?
That's up to you.
You think I can do better?
It's the end game. Well, you definitely could always do better than that. There's more numbers on the dice. Of course you could.
I rolled a 13. I'm debating if I should re-roll that. You know what? No, it's not worth spending another XP. He's gonna be able to dodge it. So, no matter how well I roll.
Just making him use his resources.
Yeah, it's a difficulty 4.
Okay. It's a difficulty 4 speed or might defense roll for you, Savage Tempest, and I'm going to hinder you by 1 because you are like so locked in by your offended pride on the form of Willard crawling towards you. Maybe there's some taunts or something going on, I don't know, but you're like so zoned in on this fight that it's a difficulty 5 speed or might to avoid a falling Ruby Guardian.
I'm gonna do
2 shins tall, and you
might?
couldn't evade me for this long. You had the help of your buddies on the roof.
Like
Except he's bloody, so it's all I hear is blah, blah, I'm gonna use 2 levels of effort for this one.
Okay.
And
Back down to a 3.
5. Ooh, yeah. I'm just gonna go and take it.
You're gonna take it.
Yep.
Falling out of the sky is just you're like looking down at him. He's like maybe he like spits some blood at you. You know he's trying to taunt you or whatever. You're looking down at him, and then just suddenly out of nowhere, there's just this fall. You hear kind of like a. And this dude just slams into you. The sound of metal slamming into Savage Tempest knocks you prone as you take 5 points of might damage, or if you're out of might, it'll bleed into speed. As you are knocked prone by this Ruby Guardian. Frode has also sort of cleared the way in front of him. Remember, the other 2 of you still have actions in this round. There's 1 Ruby Warden left in the room with you, or you can try and rush past the hole Frode created.
When Willard sees the Ruby Guardian hit Savage, he just yells, "Frode, I hit you! I'm coming!"
Oh dear. I've only got 2 XP. I've got a few ideas.
You have the gun too.
I've got a gun. I've got
Armis got a gun.
my top question, which I feel like is gonna be a no. Can I spend 2 XP to become like a bestial spider person, almost like a were spider?
Oh.
I become.
What does that do mechanically?
I don't know. I get fast and strong and scary.
Here's what we could do. So 2 XP is a scene-lasting ability,
Yeah.
right? It's a short-term benefit to you.
Can you channel the spirit that you fought earlier?
What I was going to say is what I'll let you do is summon the spirit you conquered in the Feywild.
Yeah.
And it will act on initiative 20. It'll act now, and then in the future, it will be an environmental action. So you don't have control of it, but all of those like demons that you conquered are now working for you.
Oh, yeah.
And you can summon this massive arachnid. So yes, I'll let you spend 2 XP to do that. You find something inside yourself you didn't know you had.
Oh yeah.
And you summon this creature. Willard, you're crawling towards Savage. He's been knocked prone. You can't crawl fast enough to get there. It's not like you're going to get to coup de grace. But as Savage is kind of getting ready to pick himself up, you see materializing out of the smoke behind him, stepping forward, just this one long, kind of sharp leg stabs into the ground. And then you see a second one that stabs into the ground. Savage, you look up above you, and a huge spider, we're talking as tall as your building Shadow Peak is, just looms over you, looking down, and it just as it looks down at you, a little bit of like acidic drool falls on the ground next to you. You hear the grass sizzle, and Armis, that's still just like an intrusion that you did, so you could do something this turn if you wanted.
Shoot the other one.
Shoot the Ruby Warden.
Summons a spider and then just casually just like bang.
The guy's busy looking at him. I just cap him in the back of the head.
I'll give you that. You distract him. He's looking away. That'll ease your task by 1.
Yeah, why not? I'm gonna shoot the guy.
Okay, it's
I've
a level
never
2.
held a gun before.
Difficulty 2 task. You've never held a gun before. Maybe I'll hinder that back to 3.
All right, and just like we always say, we take those.
Target roll of 9.
12.
Well, that's a 12.
All right, with a 12, point blank to the back of the head, he's dead. You knock him out. Davroid, you are able then with your action to move close enough to Savage to do what you've been trying to do for 3 rounds of combat.
Yes. It's coming, Savage.
But now I should be trained against this,
He
though,
is. He's
because I
taking that
used
3
Corey.
XP ability.
But Sarah's dead. Wasn't she
It's
the...
just Sarah being in his head helping him. 3 XP is a long-term ability, so
That's okay.
He's still got that 1
It's
extra
spirit.
level of resilience, and he's got you marked as his quarry, so 2 levels of easement on this attack.
That's fine.
So what's his target? What's his difficulty
I have
now?
to spend 4 points, and I'm tier 5, so 9.
Okay, so 9 eased by 2 is 7. That would be a roll of 21. So you still need to spend some intellect points to drop your, to apply some effort.
Still costs resources.
You going hard? You going 4 levels?
I'm gonna go 2 level.
2 levels. All right, that's 5 points minus your intellect edge. Mm-hmm. And that drops it down from a 7 to a 5. Target roll of 15.
We're doing
Difficult.
He's doing it.
12.
12.
I'm gonna spend an XP and re-roll just once. Come on,
Use
baby.
those resources.
2.
Yes.
All right.
Oh no! And you're not spending
So
another
be a
one?
3. No, I'm not.
Okay,
spending it.
6 points of intellect damage, right?
Yep.
And you are locked in the the spider's overhead, and then the spider is all you see. You're locked in this psychosis where it's like the last face you saw. This nightmarish spider is just staring down at you, mandibles clacking, saliva dropping towards you.
So that would also make me impaired. I'm
okay.
also 0 in intellect now.
Okay.
We did
0
it.
in intellect. He can still fight. He
Yes.
has the animal instinct, but it does mean that strategically and intellect wise he's gonna be he's got that dog in him. He's about to have a spider in him if he's not careful. Spider mandibles and Savage. I think that's all of them. So that brings us to the top of initiative. The spider is going to act first. Savage, that's a speed defense roll of level 5.
I'm just gonna roll.
Okay, target roll of 15.
You got XP to spend.
15.
Oh,
There you go.
You succeed. The spider attacks you, but even impaired as you are, your instincts are too good. The spider reaches up with that leg and tries to stab it through you as you're laying on the ground, and you just roll out of the way. Now you and Willard are both laying down, but you scamper out of the way of the attack from the spider. That is going to make it your turn, followed by Willard's.
You either take 6 points of intellect damage or spend an action to...
Calm yourself and get out of the psychosis.
Oh, I thought I already took the intellect damage.
It's
You
every
did.
round.
It will
Keeps
continue.
happening.
It keeps going.
Oh, well then, so like,
It's
So
every
you would
round
have to take
until
your
you
turn to calm
Yeah.
yourself, essentially.
or I can take it. Can I take it from a different pool?
Yeah, so it would just roll over to might next.
Intellect, might, speed.
Well then,
Yeah.
I can't do anything. I have to sit here. I just can't.
Okay, so you
And then
take
it's
a
Willard's
Unless I can
turn.
take it from my speed pool,
You take a turn and breathe deep.
like then I can.
So you take a turn and breathe deep, and Willard
And it's
is
Willard's turn, and Willard is laying directly next to him, is what I hear.
Willard
I do
is-
have a body on top of me though.
Just to be clear, Willard is debilitated, and a debilitated character can only take the action of crawling an immediate distance, and if their speed pool is 0, they can't even do that. So Willard is there, and he can feel the sass, and he can
And
even
he
talk,
can't do it.
but he can't attack. Willard is too at the end of himself.
Willard will just like move his head over to look at Savage, and he'll see that Savage is just like eyes closed, and I think he'd be able to surmise that he's trying to combat the psychosis.
Yeah, you hear the wind whipping up over the courtyard out
Or
here.
I'm just trying to get this heavy human off me. I have a gemstone guardian laying across my body.
That's true.
Oh, they just
and-
knocked you over. They're not laying on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Willard will just try to get in. Like, I don't know if this will actually mechanically do anything, but he's just trying to get in his head to like see if he can stop him from fighting the psychosis. Be like, you can't stop it. You can't stop it.
He's coming for you.
You can't stop it. He's coming for you.
He's trying. I don't think it's working on account of the no actions except whatever rule is debilitated. But he's
For
just there
flavor-
to.
for flavor,
yeah, you're just
he's
laying
just-
next to him.
Yep.
And there's a giant freaking spider that's gonna eat your face off right now.
Savage, it is. Oh no, you spent your turn recentering. So Savage does kind of break out of his psychosis. That's going to bring us down to the. I guess there are no more Ruby Wardens, so it's just the player's turn. Frode, was it? Did you rush through, or are you? I guess you're still in the doorway.
Well, I threw him in. Yeah.
That's right, you threw him in. So you're probably like in the atrium. You know, you stepped into the atrium for your throw, so you could now move the short distance and attack if you wanted to enter that courtyard area in front. That's a speed 4 if you want to do that.
You know what? I'll take that staff I have. The one I haven't actually used this entire time that I picked up
That
from
just
that armory.
resizes to whatever size you want.
Yeah. And I'll just plant that against the ground, aim it generally in his direction, and have it grow.
So, I just want to make sure I'm picturing the scene right. You plant this thing at sort of like in the ground in his general direction. You let it grow above him, and then it just falls onto him. Is that the play here?
Oh, I was just gonna have it go straight into him, like.
Oh, like resize into his side?
Yeah. Just a poke.
Sure.
I don't know.
What level is this artifact?
Oh, geez. Staff level 4.
Okay, Savage, that is a speed or might defense roll of 4, target roll of 12, as Frode lines it up and just activates the magic within it, and it it just launches out towards you.
I'm gonna have to use speed here.
Okay.
I'm gonna use 1 level of effort,
Okay.
and yeah, I guess I'm just gonna. So what do I have to? What target
It's
roll?
a level 3, target roll of 9.
Oh yeah,
We take those.
you're damn right. 17.
17.
Technically an 18.
You again roll over just barely out of the way of it. Your eyes snap open from the psychosis. Spiders above you. Pole shooting across the ground towards you. Willard dying next to you. You just roll over and like out of the way. Willard, you watch as a pole kind of like splits the distance between you and Savage as he rolls out of the way. You just know like your friends are coming. You know what I mean?
Yep. He just
and then-
smiles. He can't even move anymore. Like, he's done crawling, but he just smiles.
Armis and Davroid, it is your turn.
By the way, I did roll for depletion. It did not deplete.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Great.
Goodness gracious, can I want to shoot him.
Go ahead and roll a speed attack, baby. You have a rifle that you took, so that can easily cover very long range with no worries. So you're not hindered or anything like that. You are shooting out into the distance.
15.
Savage, difficulty 5, speed or might defense roll as they shoot at you.
The 6. We're gonna use an XP to roll again. Same exact parameters.
He can't have much left.
A 9. 1 more XP. We're gonna.
Okay.
I'm committed to this one.
He's going.
8. The game doesn't want me to have it, so we're gonna sit that one out.
Okay. You use one of their long rifles against them. The long rifles are heavy weapons. That's 6 points of damage to might, and then it bleeds into speed.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would put Savage at 2 zeros.
Debilitated.
Okay. Savage is debilitated. He's laying on the ground next to a debilitated Willard. The two of them are laying there. As you approach to try and, I don't know, finish the job, whatever it's going to look like, I'm assuming Davroid will kind of step out in front of the group since the other two have acted this round. So Davroid, you kind of walk, you just follow the pole, that's extended into the distance. As you walk down that distance, 4 lasers back up into position. They're going to take one final, as Savage is like debilitated, they're like, screw this, we don't want our boss dead. And they're all gonna pull up their lasers and attack you as a swarm. Level 5 might or speed defense roll.
Are they in short range?
Fire. No.
Okay.
He's gonna mind screw with everybody.
They're all shooting at Davroid.
Yes.
Okay.
You said might or speed?
Might or speed defense roll.
Okay.
Level 5.
I will use 1 level of effort for speed.
Okay. Difficulty 4, target roll of 12.
And we're gonna just hope and pray, guys. 19!
19.
I'm impaired, so I don't get a minor effect, but I passed.
But you succeed. So they all shoot at you, and just by some miracle, they miss. It's not even a dodge. Davroid is limping forwards, and they were too eager. The lasers come up, they all take their shots, and just something about it.
No, so they think he's gonna dodge.
Oh, they lead where he's going to jump.
Davroid used the strategy of just continuing straight.
Nice. Davroid continues straight, his pen still gleaming in his pocket protector on his shirt. Moving forward.
As this happens, Willard sees that, and I assume Savage kind of sees that too.
Yeah, both of you are just kind of laying there and see it happening.
Willard will just kind of say out loud and smile when he looks at Savage, and he says,
You have employees. I have friends.
Willard, have 4 XP for, I think, concluding your character arc, maybe.
Pretty darn close. I mean, it's not the same. It's not the full character arc. If he survives this, he will complete it.
Yeah, so maybe that's just 2 XP for a step. But that's learning how to work as part of a team.
Yes.
So that's definitely a step for him. Davroid, you just limp forward towards Savage. He's laying there on the ground in front of you. Are you going to bring him to justice?
Yeah.
You're going to bring him to God.
Justice. Davroid is gonna slap handcuffs on him.
Okay.
And
Savage, you just feel yourself rolled over. Oh, what's up?
I wanted to spend an XP.
You can spend
as
an XP.
many as XPs as this is allowed to do.
Okay.
This would be
still got quite a few.
a final moment for Savage.
Okay.
His pride's just too much. He doesn't want to be sat in a cell.
Okay.
And wasted away and rot. So his last final weapon that he has on him is a grenade.
Okay.
And I want to use my XP to pull this grenade out, pull the pin, hold it in the air, and just start manically laughing.
Oh, okay. And you're going to let it go off?
Let it go off.
Okay, Davroid, you have a chance here. You need to decide, and either way it's an intrusion, so it costs an XP, whether you're going to cover Willard, who's right next to him, from shrapnel, or whether you're going to fight for justice and catch the grenade. If you catch the grenade, Willard is on the edge. He will die.
I literally have 1 pool point left.
Yeah. If you cover him, then Savage will die, the mana vault will explode, and you will take a serious amount of damage. So either way, this costs an XP. What's it going to be?
It costs him an XP or me?
Costs you an XP.
I don't have XP.
Oh, shit.
Roll a speed task. Difficulty 5. Target roll of 15.
This is a raw roll, guys. I have 1 point in speed, so I can't use effort.
Oh, dude, he might take you both.
Can Frode aid in any way?
Frode, you can spend an XP to rush over there.
All right.
Okay. Wait. Before Frode does any of this, and Davroid, Willard has 2 XP that he just gained from taking a big step on his arc.
Oh my gosh.
And he had none before that. He would like to spend 1 or 2 or whatever it is He's debilitated, so maybe he can't do this. I don't know.
Right?
If he can do if Savage can do a last dying breath, ha 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 ha, pull the pin on the grenade.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that Willard can do a last dying breath, just try to move his body weight to shift it in a way where he can try to knock the grenade out of Savage's hands and away from Davroid's side of what's going on, if that makes sense. Like just even if it's just like a slump of the shoulders, move like that to just.
So, I'm with you on the last move, but I don't think the grenade could fall far enough away to not blow up the mana vault, which is the real danger to everyone here.
That's fine.
What I think you could do
to blow up the
instead,
mana vault.
What I think you could do instead, though, is with your 2 XP, I'll let you intrude on the scene to warn him, and we'll let him make the choice without a roll or an intrusion. You've had this whole time, you've had your see the attacks coming ability activated. And so you could be yelling out to him, he's going to pull the pin or something like that, which gives Davroid a chance to act here.
Willard will do that. He will just yell, Davroid, grenade!
Okay.
Davroid, in front of you, you see a chance to prove your worth once and for all as a detective, or a chance to save your friend. What's it going to be?
So it's either...
you can save Willard and Savage dies.
Yeah.
You can stop the grenade, but Willard dies.
Because
of Willard's wounds.
Oh,
He's been on the edge of death with 1 point in his pool for 4 or 5 rounds here.
Yeah.
I think this whole pre-adventure Davroid would probably have not even thought about it and gone for the mana vault and saving that. But I think post-adventure Davroid has learned to value the companions and friendships. So he's going to dive and cover Willard.
Davroid, you dive towards Willard. Savage, roll a d12. This is how much damage he needs to avoid. We're going to add your tier of 4 as the modifier.
It's been real, boys.
Davroid might die.
The 2.
2 plus 4 is 6 points of damage as the grenade goes off.
I have exactly 6 points left.
Is it your last pool?
So I have 1 point in speed and 5 in intellect.
Wow.
Okay.
Can I intrude?
He's going to take the 6 points, which knocks him to 0, 0, 0. He falls essentially unconscious to the ground. I'll let you spend an intrusion before his dying breath. So he jumps on Willard. Willard, you hear the explosion. You don't feel any shrapnel, but you can tell it's impacted Davroid. Frode, you've been running towards them. You see Davroid go down. He dives on Willard as the grenade goes off. You've just spent an intrusion. What are you doing?
Is it a long distance?
You can decide, long or short. You've been sprinting for kind of an indeterminate. This moment is sort of a slow motion moment.
I'm just saying, could I create a shield
with your own body?
No, with his
imagination. Strong as iron to cover them. Just as big as I am.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Yes, you can do that. That's amazing. We're going to say that it phases in as the grenade goes off. You save 1 pool point for him.
Yes.
It's enough to keep him alive. The shrapnel slams into him, but that last piece, Davroid, you can feel it. Each one is another hit. Another opportunity to prove yourself gone. And right at the last second, instead of it hitting you, it slams into something as strong as iron. And you look up through kind of blood running down your face. Willard beneath you coughs out of breath. You can tell you've saved him. And you see Frode running towards you, just screaming as he runs towards you. Right next to him is Armis running to your defense. Armis, you have... are you going to do anything in this moment? This is just kind of a hero landing moment for everybody. What is Armis doing?
What's Shale doing? Is he okay? He's hanging close to this explosion as well.
Armis cuts Shale down. Shale was just tied upside down to a statue. So you cut Shale down and start kind of you tap him on the face. You go, wake up, wake up, wake up.
My boy.
And he opens his eyes in your arms. And as the smoke settles over the battlefield, as Savage, nothing more than a crater in the ground, the mana vault gone, whatever dangers it posed gone, the R&D lab destroyed, the lecture hall where Sarah the analyst had all of her stolen tech gone, the corrupt Ruby Guardian dead, all of you on the edge, on the brink, out of the smoke, you see the form of Chasm Jasper and the other Gold Guardians. They're covered in blood and scratches of their own. They've finally won their battle at the perimeters. And as they arrive in, Davroid and Willard, you kind of look up through the smoke, you blink up at them, and you hear Jasper say, "It's all right, boys. I've got you." And on that note, this season of Wing Badger Tavern, the cleanup crew comes to a close. Yeah! What a freaking moment. What a heroic landing. I did not see any of this coming. And we're going to talk all about it tomorrow at 12:30 in our penultimate tavern talk of the season. Tomorrow, you can expect to see from us epilogues. We'll go one day later and do a quick kind of aftermath epilogue. We'll let the characters sunset themselves the week after. So we'll do like a 1 year out epilogue.
We're talking about
later.
I can't wait to see Savage's epilogue.
Exactly. Yeah, we kind of like skip to the next day, and we're gonna see what's happening. Maybe a conversation with Jasper or something. That's tomorrow. We will do the Nemi Awards. The votes are in the hottest award show in all of our tabletop game. And we will do kind of a debrief from this season. We'll talk about how the game went. We'll talk about the Cypher system. And lastly, we'll do Ask the GM. No holds barred. My notes are open to you. Ask me anything you want about the season. And that is what you can expect tomorrow. Players, thank you for an amazing day. Savage, Sir T-Sav on Twitch, check him out. What an incredible literal GM intrusion into our finale you have been. Brand new to the system. He has literally never played the Cypher system before today. Walked in and just did that. Created all those moments for everybody.
I only learned by Spotify and listening to you guys. So. I feel like I'm the fan that's always been like, riding the back of the bus, like, oh my god, I gotta go do another show, do another thing. And then I'm finally sitting at the table with you guys. I'm like, this is awesome.
This is dope. I love this. This is so cool. And anyway, until tomorrow, from all of us here at the Winged Badger Tavern, I'm sorry, Jake, we have to exclude you, but the rest of us as a group in 3, 2, 1, GG!
Cleo goes, we roll those.